34, Alex Hernandez. Number 44, Jerome.
Good afternoon and welcome to this edition of Gridiron Glory Alumni Football presented by SHN Sports. A beautiful March the 5th day out here. Brad Tillery. I'm Rob Hipp alongside Brad Tillery. Brad, good to have you up here at Kelly Reeves Athletic Complex in beautiful Austin, Texas, where today it's alumni football. It is the Hayes Rebels versus the Granger Lions. We're set for a good one here today.
Yeah, looking forward to a very good game. A third-place state championship title game today, state championship later on tonight. These two teams going after the third-place title, and really looking forward to a day. And you couldn't ask for better football weather. Nice 70, 75 degrees, a little bit of a breeze. We're even sitting outside to take advantage of it today.
Well, again, we're thankful here. Again, SHN Sports proud to present this edition of Gridiron Glory Alumni Football. 4 teams in the tournament, if you will call it that. Today, this first game is the third place. It is going to be, again, the Hayes Rebels versus the Granger Lions. This will determine third place. And then tonight at 7 p.m. will be the state championship. But what a wonderful day, again, as you just said, for football out here. We're excited to be here. A big special thanks, as always, to George Cox and also the fine folks, Dwayne Wyrick over at Round Rock ISD, for allowing us to be here at Kelly Reeves Athletic Complex. Brad, this is one of the premier football facilities in the state of Texas, and it's beautiful today.
Yeah, I've got the good fortune of doing public address here for a local high school team during the season last year, and it really is just an unbelievable facility. I mean, you go down into the stands, and underneath, the locker rooms are first rate. The concessions are extremely good. And then you come in the press box, and it's better than some college press boxes that you'll step foot in. And I've had the fortune of being in a lot of minor league baseball and college press boxes in my life, and I'm telling you, it doesn't get much better than what we're sitting in right now up here. And this is just a very, very nice complex. And the fact that it's primarily for high school football, it's really incredible.
Absolutely. Well, again, today I don't even think the high may break 80 degrees. No rain inside, a few clouds scathing over. We'll go over more of the weather as we get started here in a few moments. We're just a few moments away from the national anthem as well, so we're going to be excited about that.
It's a lot different than the last time you and I did a Hayes game, a Hayes alumni game back in November when we were down in Dripping Springs. And it was, 25, 30 degrees, cold and windy that night. So definitely a lot better, but we're going to get set for the national anthem right now, it sounds like.
Absolutely. We're going to send it back over. We'll be here and back in just a few moments with the national anthem. Again, you're listening to Gridiron Glory Alumni Football presented by SHN Sports. This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by the Shoning Hip Network. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, use of sound bites and interviews, and use of any other content, including audio or video, without the direct written consent and permission by the Shoning Hip Network is strictly prohibited and protected by federal and copyright laws. All rights are reserved by the Shoning Hip Network and SHNSports.com.
Teams send their condolences to the Null family and all those affected from this tragic loss. Can we please have a moment of silence for Coach David Null? Thank you. At this time, it is my pleasure to have Mr. Marvin Lindsay sing the national anthem for us. Gentlemen, please remove your hats. If everybody could please rise as we honor America with the singing of the national anthem.
Oh, sing, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at a twilight last green, whose broad strides and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Wow, just an unbelievable rendition there of our country's national anthem, and a great job as always by Mr. Lindsay, man. He can bring the house down. We're actually going to have him on camera for the upcoming game at 7 p.m. He plays for Hardin Jefferson, but again, a big thanks to Marlon. He does such a wonderful job, Brad. He is amazing on that microphone.
Yeah, that was solid. I was wondering when his record deal's coming up on The Voice.
Well, we're getting ready to. I'm so used to basketball. I almost said we're getting ready to tip things off. We're getting ready to kick things off here. And Brad, just a few moments ago, as we were coming out of that break there, the moment of silence was for Coach David Null, the Hayes High School head baseball and linebackers coach, who passed away unexpectedly last Sunday at the age of 54. Teams, schools, and the Hayes community are mourning the loss of a passionate, caring man who brought enthusiasm to playing fields and classrooms. He was officially a Rebel in 2009. David Null's loss is felt by many players of the Hayes High School alumni who had the opportunity to learn for him. An idea inspired by the Lockhart, Seguin, and Smithson Valley baseball teams, both Granger and Hayes released moments ago those red, white, and blue balloons in honor of Coach David Null. And once again, both teams send their condolences to the Null family and all those affected from this tragic loss. A heartbreaking loss there in the Hayes community, but just proud and honored to be able to honor him today, a legacy he leaves behind for a lot of folks. Brad.
Yeah, and I would say the condolences not only extend just from them, but also from us here at SHN Sports. And definitely our thoughts and prayers are with the family at this time.
Number 25, Paul Brown.
Both teams lining up now at the 50-yard line. The team captains, we're getting set here for the coin flip. The Hayes Rebels will be in their red jerseys, red pants with white numbering. The Granger Lions will be in their black jerseys and black pants with white numbering. So the only thing about the Granger uniforms is it's really awesome. On the front they have the state of Texas, but it's hard to read the numbers on the front. So bear with us as we get into the groove of the game, as I like to call it, up here at the house tonight.
Looks like Hayes has deferred, Granger's then taken the kick on the first go-around, so the men in black will take the ball first here this afternoon.
Absolutely, I like that, man.
Usually you would say wearing black on a day game, you wouldn't think about it, but when it's 70 degrees outside, you can't get much better than this.
Again, thanks for joining us here on Gridiron Glory Alumni Football. I'm Rob Hipp alongside my good friend Brad Tillery. Rick Epstein is our public address announcer, and we are broadcasting from the beautiful Kelly Reeves Athletic Complex outside on the film deck. It was so nice we decided to sit out here today. So again, we appreciate you tuning in here today and watching this one. It's going to be a fun day of football here on Saturday, Brad.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. It always is fun when we get together for these alumni games. Guys who get a chance to get out there and get a few more pads popping after those high school days are done. Some of them even went on to play college. We got a few guys on the roster who played some college ball. They get a chance to get back out there one more time. So always fun. And really, I think the cool thing, especially, you get up there in age, start having kids, might be the only chance your kids will get a chance to see you have a play, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you definitely got some young ones in the crowd today and on the sidelines helping out. Some wives who maybe you met your wife after high school and she never saw you play. She only hears the stories, and now you get to go catch a touchdown.
And so we're getting set to kick off here. The Hayes Rebels will be kicking off. The Granger Lions set to receive. Hayes will be kicking off from right to left here, Brad. And man, I'm excited. It's good to be able to continue broadcasting, man. When the football season's over in high school, we can continue to bring these alumni games. And again, a big special thanks to George Cox for putting these on.
Basketball winding down. You got baseball started up, though. So obviously SHN got some baseball going on, too. But definitely nice to get back here on the gridiron. Kind of remembers the old days of the World Football League, where you have some spring football back in the day, or the USFL. So it's what we've got right now, but it's always nice to see us on the gridiron.
Absolutely. Well, Hayes here kicking off from right to left. It's Josh Schwartz. The ball is up and away. The barefooted kick down to the 15, actually the 10-yard line. Granger returning it here on the far side. It's Marcus Hayes. And Marcus still on his feet. A nice return. There is a flag on the play, however, but Marcus brings that ball up to the 30-yard line, pending the call here, Brad.
Yeah, really nice job of weaving in and out of traffic there by Marcus Hayes. And the only thing I think, if you're Granger here, is you hope that penalty's not on you. And in fact, it won't be. 15 more will be tacked on to the end of the run. A face mask there called against Hayes. So a rough start here for the Rebels as we get going.
Well, they'll get into the groove. We talk about it every alumni game, Brad, that these guys, they get out here and play. Here recently, a lot of consecutive games. I wanted to give a shout out to George Cox really quick as we get started here. This is the 43rd alumni game, Brad, in only his 43rd month of business. What a tremendous job George Cox has done.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I don't think people realize how hard it is to start a business off the ground with a concept that maybe some people don't grasp. You know, it's like alumni football. I'm not sure I understand, but it's taking off in the state of Texas. And you know, you talk about these 43 games. You're originally talking one game every couple of months, and now you got 43 averaging one a month, and it's just growing from there. And that number is going to surely grow above the amount of months here very soon.
Granger lines up here on their own 45-yard line. Quarterback under center. Look for the handoff here. Actually, he's going to roll out. Sweep over to the left. The pass, way too short. Wind may have caught it there. He also may have lost it out of his hands. An incomplete pass there out of the hands of Jim Bird. He's the 1986 alum, Brad.
Well, you know, I was sitting there looking, and you said quarterback under center. That's just not something you see much in high school football anymore. So you could tell that these guys are out here, and they're used to playing that under center snap, and a nice 7-step drop back on a little swing route outside, even though it was a little overthrown. You know, a little traditional smash mouth style football looks like we're going to come out here today from Granger.
It's going to bring up second down here. Granger still in that tight formation. Bird under center. Has two backs behind him. One receiver up top. This time the handoff is to his back. Dancing around, and he's brought down for about a 1-yard loss on the play. And I believe on the carry, that was Daniel Carr, the 2009 alumni.
Let's see if they drop back into shotgun now on the third down play. You know, you're trying to work in practice time, and I don't know, all these guys have day jobs too, so you got to work out times when you can. So the question is, what plays are you working on? Are you working mostly from under center? Are you working from the gun when you can? But here they will go back under center, it looks like, on the 3rd and long.
It is 3rd down and 11 here. Ball on their own 44-yard line. Bird steps back, throws it, almost picked off. He tries to sweep it around. He got hit. That may have caused a little congestion there as he tried to get the ball away. The intended receiver on the play looks like number 8 for Granger. That's going to be Antonio Baraka. He's the 2012 graduate.
Yeah, it was Joel Jalomo getting in there, though, for Hayes, graduate of 2013. So a couple of younger guys on the roster in on the play. Jalomo got in the backfield quickly and was able to get to the quarterback and cause the breakup pretty fast. Jim Bird getting the ball out of his hands a little faster than he wanted to, and looks like that's going to force Granger into a punting situation here.
They're going to be punting here. The ball on the 44-yard line, and set back to receive are the Hayes Rebels around the 15-yard line. The deep snap back here. It actually falls to the ground. The punt up and away. A nice booming punt here, and it's going to sell out of bounds around the 30-yard line. There is some laundry on the field, though, back around the 30, Brad.
We're going to get a roughing the kicker here, it looks like, against Hayes on Jalomo. It's either going to be running into a roughing, but he hit him right after the kick happened. That may be one of those situations where the low snap could actually help Granger here in the long run. They called running into, so it sounds like just a 5-yard penalty here. And you'll have a re-kick on 4th and 6.
That ball now at the 49-yard line, so a lot better than roughing the kicker, because that would have been an automatic 1st down.
Yep.
Still 4th down and 6.
And so now does the game plan change for Granger, or are they going to punt the ball here again? Waiting to see. It looks right now, the way Hayes is lining up, is Granger may be trying to go for this here early on.
Granger is. They're going to drop under center here.
They do drop under center. The back behind is Leonard Hinojosa. 4th down. Bird rolling out to the left, has a man down on the corner around the 30. Boy, looked like a lot of contact there. No call as the receiver went down to the ground. That's going to be a turnover on downs.
Yeah, almost had it. Threw it in a double coverage there. I'll tell you what, though, give credit to, even though it was an incomplete pass, give credit to the Granger offensive line, because for Hayes, Fred Lyons got one heck of a jump up the middle off the snap, and yet he couldn't penetrate because of a nice little double team in the middle of the line there. So if that can continue, you could see Granger trying to shoot the ball down the field a little more, because you're going to have time to throw it.
Well, Hayes takes over here in Granger territory on the 49-yard line. So we'll see what their first offensive set of the day looks like. I'm so used to saying tonight. Granger lines up here in shotgun formation. One receiver to either side, two backs behind the quarterback. Man in motion is Josh Schwartz. Quarterback hands off to his back, and looks like maybe a gain of 1 on the play there.
Stuffed up the middle pretty quickly.
Coming onto the field is number 22, Trace Gandy, alongside, it looks like number 25 came out there. And if so, that's Paul Brown. He's the 2014 alum. Coming off the field is Josh Schwartz alongside Claywood Highwood.
You know, we mentioned earlier we saw this Hayes team play back in, I saw this Hayes team specifically play back in November. And if I remember one thing, they have a very, very good kicker. So they don't need to get too far down the field to be in a field goal range here. They can kick the ball in from about 40, 45 yards out.
Man in motion here on this one, and on the end around to the left side, Granger snuffs it right around the 50-yard line. That's going to be a loss on the play. A nice job right there by Granger getting on the ball.
Jacob Busby getting in there, chasing the ball down from the back, and kind of a sandwich tackle right at midfield. Heck of a play there by the Granger defense, and now 3rd and long for Hayes.
It's going to be 3rd down and 11, a ball right there at the half-century mark on the 50-yard line. So far, both offenses kind of stalling here, but again, it's only 3rd down for Hayes. We'll see if they can come out of the rut here and try to continue this drive and keep it alive, Brad. The quarterback for Hayes is Matt Anguino. Anguino steps back, scanning, looking over, left side, intercepted by Granger at the 40-yard line, crossing over the 50, and finally coming out of bounds. Boy, that could have been a late hit there. And a Granger player on the sideline as he got drugged down in some pain there. The Hayes players quickly running over to him.
That was a miscommunication there on the throw. It looked like as the receiver, sorry, trying to understand the name here, Peyton Pringle. Pringle had a couple of touchdown catches in that game back in November, if I remember right. Pringle broke in. Looked like Anguino thought he was going to scoot out, and the defense for Granger just sat on the route, was able to get the easy interception. And
who was that again on the interception, Brad? It was.
I had the number and now I lost it because I was looking at Pringle take over.
I think it may have been Heath Hoffman. He's the one with his helmet off running back over.
Yeah.
And I believe it was Hoffman. So if we got that wrong, I apologize, but I believe it was Hoffman there with the pick.
Either way, Granger gets the ball back inside Hayes territory. So the first time that either team or that they've gotten inside opposition territory, but so far kind of a stalemate right around the 50-yard line for both teams.
Second possession of the afternoon here for Granger. The high snap, quarterback scanning, throwing, and that one, was it intercepted or did it hit the ground?
They're going to call it incomplete.
An incomplete pass there. The intended receiver for Granger not able to come up with it, and Chad Miles there was the one that almost picked that off, Brad.
Yeah, I'll tell you, with naked eye, it looked like he might have had that. It was really close from up here. Now, we're 4 stories up here from the beautiful skybox at Kelly Reeves Athletic Complex, but we'll give the benefit of the doubt because I'll tell you what, the guys in the stripes have a much better view than I do on if they hit the ground.
We're still scoreless here. 8 minutes, 13 seconds to go in the first period. Granger with the ball. It's 2nd down and 10. Shotgun, quarterback stepping back, scanning. Left side actually goes to the center. Ball up in the air and almost picked off. Hayes had a chance there, and they weren't able to come down with that. In the area was Manuel Gonzalez. He's a 98 graduate. It's going to bring up 3rd down and long.
You'd almost like to see Granger get back to under center and pound the ball a little bit. You know, they were firing off the ball when they were under center pretty well, but Granger, 5 of their 6 play calls so far have been through the air, and you'd really like to see them line up and pound it a bit.
Again, it is 3rd down and long from the 48-yard line of the Hayes Rebels. Granger with it here, trying to keep their drive alive on the 2nd drive of the afternoon. Bird in at shotgun, 2 receivers stacked up to the left, 1 down to the right. The delayed handoff, and Hayes snubs that play. A great job on the defense there as Daniel Carr had nowhere to go, and maybe some miscommunication at the initial line of scrimmage, Brad.
Yeah, you would see a delayed handoff, but that one, it took a few extra seconds to get back going. It seemed like it developed. And you like the idea trying to catch the rush up the field when you've been throwing the ball a lot, but definitely look a little miscommunication. Hayes takes advantage of it, and now a punting situation comes up as you lose about 9 yards on the play.
They're back in their own territory on a 42-yard line. Hayes set back to receive. Paul Brown for the Hayes Rebels alumni, set back to receive.
Paul Brown coming back from a broken arm in the last game that he played.
Another low snap here. The punt gets off. It's up and away. It's going to settle around the 30-yard line, and Brown's going to take it here. On the far side across the 40-yard line. Nice return. There is a flag on the play, though, but still a great return right there as Hayes was in traffic. And again, Brad, that was Daniel Carr in traffic, or beg your pardon, Paul Brown in traffic, able to bring that ball down. We'll see what the flag is.
Yeah, really nice movement down there, and it's going to come back a little bit as the penalty goes against the Rebels, so the return negated on the penalty, and that's a couple of penalties now against Hayes on special teams, actually 3 of them. If you go back to the opening kick of the game, they had the one that was the running into the kicker, and now the return game here, so 3 penalties in the game, all of them on special teams for the Rebels.
Yeah, so far, not much rhythm.
Yeah, we're about halfway through the first quarter. It's kind of felt like a disjointed quarter of football so far.
Again, a beautiful 74 degrees here in Austin, Texas at Kelly Reeves Athletic Complex. The wind blowing at 7 miles an hour, so not too windy out here for football. 7 minutes to go here in the first period. We're still scoreless. Hayes is going to take over after the punt. They're going to be on their own 24-yard line. I believe Anguino's out there, quarterback in shotgun. One receiver to either side. And now in motion is Schwartz. The handoff, pitch back to his man. Running around on the far side is Trace Gandy, and he's going to be stopped for maybe a gain of 2 on the play.
Yeah, Hayes trying to get outside with the run game, and neither team so far has really tried to get the run game up the middle going. Everything's been to the outsides of the passing game. We'd like to see if somebody could establish that movement up the middle, which we know Hayes has the ability to do. We've seen that before with them pounded up the middle and really get chunks of yardage before.
Well, it's going to bring up 2nd down and 8 here from the 26-yard line. See if Hayes can get in some rhythm here. One receiver to either side. Josh Schwartz lines up offset. 2 backs behind Anguino. This time the pitch out. Almost dropping the ball is Trace Gandy, still on his feet. And again, Granger snuffing the play. He's going to be dropped for a loss back at the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Gandy had to cut back after the pitch, and actually a really nice job of recovering the pitch and getting back to the original line of scrimmage. That play had about 4 or 5 yard loss at the beginning and able to make it to only a yard or 2, so now it's 3rd and 10 as opposed to 3rd and 13, 3rd and 14.
So again, will the Hayes offense stall here? Will they be able to pick up the 1st down?
I wonder if Hayes start looking towards the man that I remember doing very well in the game that we saw earlier or last year was Peyton Pringle. A couple of touchdown catches rather. Pringle has 9 receiving TDs so far during these alumni games.
Yeah, he's played just amazingly well. Guino stepping back, looking to the right side, throws it around the 35. It's caught. Will it be enough for the 1st down? It's going to be close here. A nice reception by Paul Brown, number 25 for the Hayes Rebels.
And they're going to give it to him.
What a great job right there. A great reception by Paul Brown right between the eyes.
Yeah, that was a dart thrown there by Anguino, too.
Hayes breaks out of their snap here. 5 minutes to go. We're still scoreless. Hayes driving. The first down we've seen here this afternoon. Anguino at shotgun. 2 receivers to either side. Has a back behind him. Low snap. The delayed handoff to his back. And he's going to pick up about 3 on the play. A nice run right there by Clayton Highwood.
Really like the play call, though. Establish that run up the middle, kind of force the defense maybe to start paying attention a little more, and that'll open up the outside for the receivers because we've already seen now Aguino's shown that he can throw the pass, that they can complete, get the long 1st down, and if you can get some one-on-one situations specifically, you'll be able to knock some big plays down the field.
The ball now at the 37-yard line. Anguino, same formation here. 2 receivers to either side. Has his back behind him. This time a pass over the 40-yard line. It's caught. Actually, he drops it right there at the last minute. They're going to rule it incomplete. And that pass was intended for Paul Brown there on the incompletion. It's going to bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, Brown got up and did the pat the chest. My fault. That was on me. So it was a good throw by Anguino. Probably would have picked up about 3 or 4, and just unfortunately for Brown, just a bobble on the play. But still, 3rd and 7, a makeable third down here for Hayes. Just completed 3rd and 10 about a minute ago, so definitely an opportunity here for them to keep this drive moving.
So again, it is 3rd down and 7. 2 receivers line up to either side. Same formation again here, and Guino in shotgun has it back behind him. Low snap, able to pick it up. Looking down, center field. Has a man on the near side, and it's in and out of the hands. Boy, he is just not happy with that one. He knew he had the ball there. A nice effort by Ben Elizares, not able to come down with it, and it looks like Hayes should line up to punt here.
Yeah, that was a well-thrown ball by Anguino, and they had Elizares wide open down the sideline, and just unfortunate that Elizares couldn't come up with a play. It would have been about a 30, 40-yard gain on the play.
Unfortunate there for Elizares. A nice effort, though. And Hayes is going to punt here. Set back to receive for the Granger Lions is Patrick Gamble, 2008 alum. He's standing around the 35-yard line. A little confusion here on the Hayes Rebels sideline. They finally get things in order. They will call a delay of game. Looks like set back to punt the ball is going to be Trace Gandy here for the Hayes Rebels. They're going to have to move back 5. That's going to put Granger in some good position here if they can capitalize on this punt, Brad.
Yeah, they're going to have a chance to get this ball back right around the 45, 50-yard line, you would think, and with any kind of a return, a chance for really good field position for Granger in a scoreless game.
Nice kick. It's going to settle around the 30. He takes a bounce. And Granger's just going to let this one roll. Wow, and actually he picks it up. What a change of events here for Gamble. On the near side, crossing the 30 over the 35-yard line, crossing the 40, still on his feet, across the 50. Now scanning back on the far side. He's got one man to beat. Gamble still going. And he is oh man, he was on his way. He finally got tackled around the 20. Brad, if he would have stayed on that far side, he could have had the touchdown.
Yeah, I think he could have made the far pylon, but I'll tell you what, he okey-doked him a little bit on the return. Kind of remember the Super Bowl. The Broncos had that crazy return where everybody thought it was a fair catch, and it wasn't, and he got about a 60, 70-yard return. Something very similar just happened here. And for Granger, we said they'd get good field position. Didn't look like it. May get the ball around the 10, then all of a sudden pick it up, and that's going to be, what, close to a
80-yard return.
Yeah. So heck of a play there by the Lions.
Nice job again by Gamble. He took a gamble on the ball down there at the 10-yard line, faked everyone out, and brought it all the way down to the 20-yard line. And that's where Granger's going to take over here on their 3rd possession of the afternoon.
And Granger's going to take a timeout here to make sure they get the right play in with the field position. Already starting in the red zone here against Hayes in a scoreless game, 3:39 to go in the first quarter, and it's been a good one so far.
Well, we're going to take a break here as well. Again, you're watching Gridiron Glory Alumni Football presented by SHN Sports. 3:39 to go in the first period. We're scoreless. We'll be right back after this.
Drinks and candies and all sorts.
This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by the Shoning Hip Network. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, use of sound bites and interviews, and use of any other content, including audio or video, without the direct written consent and permission by the Shoning Hip Network is strictly prohibited and protected by federal and copyright laws. All rights are reserved by the Shoning Hip Network and SHNSports.com.
Welcome back in action here. We're scoreless, 3:39 to go in the first quarter. I'm Rob Pipp alongside my good friend Brad Tillery, bringing you Hayes Rebels and Granger Line football here on Gridiron Glory Alumni Football presented by SHN Sports. After a big 80-yard return by Gamble, Granger's going to take over here on the Hayes 20-yard line. The pitch back to the back on the near side, running around, and great pickup there, as you talked about earlier, Brad, getting chunks of yardage. It's starting to work here for the Granger Lions as they're in the red zone.
Yeah, nice play there. Nice play by Daniel Carr getting around the corner and about 5-6 yards on the play. And tell you what, Hayes got lucky they didn't have the extra laundry thrown down there. It looked like it might have been a hit just outside of bounds, but not going to get the call. And instead, still 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5 now for Granger. And you'd like to see that physical game really get going here and start leaning on them late in this first quarter.
Well, a nice pickup there. The ball down to the 14-yard line of the Hayes Rebels. Granger breaks out a snap here. Jim Bird, number 2 at quarterback. And he's going to line up under center. 2 backs stacked behind him. Leonard Hinojosa back there in the backfield. 2 receivers to either side. The pitch back is going to be to Daniel Carr. Carr trying to bounce around, and Hayes read it beautifully. They're going to bring Carr down for about a 2-yard loss on the play down to the 17-yard line.
Yeah, same play, just the other way. A little student body right, student body left on the first 2 plays of this drive. And first time it worked. This time Hayes says, well, there's not going to get fooled. Fool me once, shame on me. Or fool me once, shame on you, right? I don't even know. I can't even remember the saying.
Just fool me, period, and that's how it goes. So the Hayes Rebels here trying to put up a defensive stand in the red zone, again after that big punt return by Gamble. Boy, a nice 80-yard return. We're going to talk about that one for a while. Or they're going to talk about it for a while after the game. Again, that ball on the 17-yard line.
Looks like we got an equipment problem here in the backfield.
Finally break out. Bird under center. And there's going to be a laundry penalty flag, delay of game by Granger. That's going to set him back 5.
Yeah, that's all due to the equipment issue on the backfield there coming out of the huddle. Looked like the snap on the helmet or something wasn't working for Daniel Carr coming out of there. So now a 3rd and 7 turns into a 3rd and 12. And if you can't get any yardage here, and you're looking at a 39, 40-yard potential field goal try, which is no gimme.
Ball out of the red zone on the 22-yard line. 3rd down and long for the Granger Lions. Bird under center. 2 receivers down on the near side, 1 up top to the left. Bird's going to roll, scanning over to the right side, has a man around the 20. It's caught, and nice hit right there. Boy, big hit by Chase White by the Hayes Rebels, and luckily Trenton Gamble able to get up after that one.
Yeah, that was you could hear the pad popping from up here. That was a really, really nice hit. And a nice, well-designed play, actually, on offense there. And it looks like a play that Granger designed to try to pick up a few yards, knowing they're going to go for this on 4th down. Doesn't look like we got a kicker coming out. So 4th and 8 inside the red zone here at about the 18-yard line. And Granger's going to try to put this thing in the end zone or at least pick up a 1st down.
Yeah, they're going to have to go for it here. Granger doesn't have a kicking game, so they're going to go for it. The ball, again, at that 18-yard line. Bird under center, 2 receivers to the left. He's going to hand off to his back, lowers his head, and they're just trying to put that ball back as far as they can. And there is a penalty marker on the far side of the field, though, around the 16-yard line.
It looks like an illegal shift, so this one can actually be declined, I would believe, by Hayes. You believe they will, and get the ball back. Interesting call, though, on 4th and 8 that you wouldn't throw the ball, but they got up to the line of scrimmage. You could hear from the other sideline, 5 seconds to snap it, 5 seconds to snap it. And maybe when you get going that fast, you just got to get a play off and hope it'll move.
Both teams now touching the ball 3 times. This is the 3rd possession for Hayes on the evening. 1:09 to go in the first period. We're still scoreless. And Hayes takes over on downs after that big return by Gamble. And the drive stalled for the Granger Lions. And Hayes will take over here on their own 15-yard line.
Hayes has had success in the passing game. Intermediate passes been there. They've had a couple of actually longer passes that have been open. So you might see them try to go back to the air here pretty early.
And Guino, the handoff to his man, running around. It's Ben Elizares. And Elizares says, I'm sorry, but I'm going to pile this ball up to the 21-yard line. A nice 6-yard pickup on 1st down by Big Ben.
Yeah, really, really good play there. Gets started. A little fullback dive as opposed to getting it to the hand or getting it back to the halfback, and might have fooled the defense too because the halfback shot out to the right side, fullback coming up the middle, and Elizares with a wide gap to run up for 6 yards.
The ball on the 21-yard line, on their own 21-yard line, and Guino in shotgun, 1 receiver to either side. This time the pitch out on the far side, lowers his shoulder, picks up a few more. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 2. And Brad Highwood might be a short guy out there, his back, but he has a lot of energy, a lot of power, able to lower that shoulder and pick up a few more. And this puts up a really good 3rd down situation for the Hayes Rebels looking for a 1st down here.
Yeah, and you think they might keep it on the ground here. Some success here, moving the ball on the ground, start wearing some folks down, but we won't find out for a couple of minutes as that's the end of the first quarter.
As Brad just said, that is the end of the first quarter. We're still scoreless here at Kelly Reeves Athletic Complex. We'll be right back after this. You're watching Gridiron Glory Alumni Football presented by SHN Sports.
This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by the Shoning Hip Network. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, use of sound bites and interviews, and use of any other content, including audio or video, without the direct written consent and permission by the Shoning Hip Network is strictly prohibited and protected by federal and copyright laws. All rights are reserved by the Shoning Hip Network and SHNSports.com.
Welcome back to Gridiron Glory Alumni Football presented by SHN Sports. I'm Rob Hipp alongside Brad Tillery, Rick Epstein, our public address announcer, also the owner of IHS Fan, a really awesome publication that he puts out. And Brad, I did want to mention some other sponsors that make Gridiron Glory Alumni Football possible. Our friends over at PunisherFootball.com, Sculpture Nutrition and Fitness, Lone Star Gridiron, Full Bore Sportswear, and Gridiron Heroes. You can check all those sponsors out at the bottom of gridironglory.com. Again, show our sponsors some love out there. They make all this possible. George Cox, again, a wonderful job here on his 43rd alumni football game in 43 months.
Yeah, we heard later on tonight, or I think for the championship game tonight, we know for sure there's going to be some folks all over the state watching this game. We heard there's a big audience watching live tonight, and hopefully some folks watching right now too.
Big third down for Hayes, and as you called it, Brad, the run, and it's going to get the first down. A nice run right there by Ben Elizares. And finally a first down here for the Rebels. They moved the chains just underway in the second quarter. We're scoreless.
Well, I'm sure Elizares, they call him Eli down there, and his son apparently here to watch today. Big football fan, and he gets to the highlight of seeing Dad get the first down run up the middle. 2 big runs so far on the drive for his son.
I've always wanted to have a son. I'm 31. I'm not yet married. I've got a beautiful lady. And, you know, Brad, I think I'll get there soon. Because I really want to have a son, man, because I want him to play football. I want him to play every sport, man. It's going to be first down here for the Hayes Rebels, lining up on the 28-yard line. Nice little double option here. On the far side running is Paul Brown, and Brown, after running about 30 yards all over the field, picks up around 3 on the play, down to the 31-yard line, Brad.
Tell you what, good recognition by Granger on the play. They ran the reverse, and immediately on the pitch, you could hear sweep, 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 and the reverse came back the other way. But good job by Granger to go flow to the ball, and as you said, a 30, 40-yard run, which ends up for about 2 or 3 yards on the play. So see how much Brown has left in the tank for this coming play.
Ball down to the 31-yard line. It's going to bring up second down and long here for the Rebels.
I'd need the oxygen mask after that.
Yeah, no joke. Ball on the far side, Hashmark and Guino in its shotgun, man in motion. And the pass complete over to Brown. Lowering his shoulder, still on his feet, and actually the pass complete there. That was Pringle. We finally got your man Pringle in there.
Well, and you like to play a little bubble screen out to Pringle, picks up 10 yards, and he's got moves, he's got speed. We've seen this before out of him. Class of 2010 graduate, so a guy who's shown us that he can get out there and play. He's got really good hands, and you'd like to see them maybe have some more design plays go out to him on the outside, which would then open up that middle run game. Which they've shown, the Hayes Rebels have shown they can already do, and get a couple of first downs that way as well. Stretch out the defense.
Schwartz coming on to the sideline here. It is first down by Pringle. Hayes trying to establish that run game, but as you just said, the passing game is starting to set up here as well. Man in motion is Gandy. And a fumble on the ground, waiting to see if Granger was able to hop on it. Gandy may have been able to get back on it. And that looks like Hayes will retain possession, so a big break there for the Rebels.
Just a low snap there, and Hayes lucky to fall back on it, as it sure looked like Gandy was the one in motion. There was going to be either a fake to him or a handoff to him, and bounced right off his leg, and he's able to fall right on top of it to mitigate the damage and keep the ball in the Rebels' possession.
It's going to bring up second down and long here for the Hayes Rebels. They're on their own 39-yard line. 9:13 to go in the first half. We're still scoreless. Thanks for joining us here on SHN Sports. The snap back, and Guino scanning, looking. Center field had Schwartz. Schwartz fell, and man, that would have been a big first down, but Schwartz lost his footing, and he fell there around the 45-yard line. A tough break by Josh and the Hayes Rebels.
I'll give the Kelly Reeves Athletic Complex turf monster the credit there for bringing Schwartz down, because he was wide open. down the middle and just got his feet caught up in the turf there. An unfortunate break for him because you're right, that would have been at least a first down and probably another 10, 15, 20 yards on the gain after that.
It's going to be 3rd and long, 3rd and 13, and the ball is still on the 39-yard line. So will the Hayes Rebels keep this drive alive, or are they going to stall here? We'll find out after the break. After the huddle break, not after we take a break.
Well, they say break, so it counts.
And Guino in shotgun. 2 backs behind him. He's going to pass. Steps back around the 30. Looking, scanning. Now he pump fakes. He's going to run. And he's just going to have to take up some yardage here. Gets the ball down to the 44-yard line. A nice job by Guino there, not trying to force anything, but we do have a penalty flag on the field.
Yeah, that was a very late penalty flag, too. It came in long after the play had ended. Curious to see what it would be.
And it is against Hayes, a chop block.
Chop block called from probably 30 yards away there, so you don't see that too often, but a 15-yard penalty. It will get a chance to replay the down, but you think if you're Granger here, you definitely take the penalty. Even though they get to replay the down, you get one stop, and now you're getting your field position much better. A much better chance at getting the ball around the 50 to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, good call there accepting the penalty, because if you decline the penalty, Hayes was kind of nearing that no man's land where do they go for it on 4th and try to get the first. So a good job there by the Granger coaching staff saying we're going to take the penalty, bring up 3rd in Dallas now for the Hayes Rebels. They've got to get that ball, Brad, all the way to the Granger 48 for the first down.
Depending on I-35, it could take a long time to get to Dallas.
And Guino here in shotgun, look for the pass. Actually, it's going to be the handoff. Across the 30-yard line, trying to pick up field here. Now crossing over the 50, close to the first down. What a run right there. A great job by Clayton Highwood. He gets close to the first down, just a yard short of it. And you got to wonder here, Hayes probably going to go for it. They should run the ball here, get that first down.
Yeah, you would think so. That's a heck of a play call with catching everybody with the draw off guard. And we were both thinking pass immediately. I thought when he got tackled, he actually landed right at the marker. They're going to mark him half a yard short. You know, definitely we talked about no man's land territory on what would have been 4th and 8. Now 4th and less than a yard. You're absolutely going for it here in opponent territory.
That's about a 40-yard run right there by Highwood. And now Granger stuffing Highwood. They read that play beautifully. On a 4th and 1 play, Granger able to throw Highwood way back down to the 42-yard line. That's where Granger will take over.
Yeah, you would have you really like the effort and the play there by Kyle Jank from Granger to get in the backfield, make the tackle. But I think if you're Hayes, you might regret not going up the middle on that one. You had success all day, pounding the ball up the middle a couple of different times, and you try to catch him outside on a play, and Granger able to get into the backfield about the same time that the ball was caught in the backfield in the pitch play. And so Granger, after giving up the long run, gets a stop and a chance to get the ball back inside the territory of the Rebels.
Absolutely. Great field position here on the 42-yard line. So we're still scoreless, 7:35 to go in the opening half of play. And now we have a timeout by the Granger Lions. We'll keep things right here, Brad. So far we've seen not a whole lot as far as scoring, of course, as we're scoreless, but we've seen a few drives, but then unfortunately once getting into the red zone, stalling. Both defenses have been playing great here in the first half of play.
Yeah, defenses are really doing a good job of swarming to the ball, not allowing too much to happen. The biggest play of the game has been kind of the punt return that nobody really saw coming. It looked like you were going to let the ball settle down. Instead, you get the long return earlier in the game here. I'm trying to remember exactly. It was Trenton Gamble with the return, about 80 yards or so. But again, Granger wasn't able to hammer it home. But here they have another shot, 1st and 10 inside Hayes territory.
Granger will take over here. Quarterback under center is Jim Bird on the Hayes 42-yard line. Bird to sweep back, hands off to his man. The pitch up front. And actually, they're going to say it was a fumble, but Granger able to make something out of nothing. And boy, they're actually going to get some yardage here. That almost looked like a forward lateral pass.
They just gave the ball over to Hayes. Hayes with the recovery, and I agree with you. It sure looked like he pitched it forward illegally as opposed to a lateral or a true fumble. Kind of the old holy roller play, if you go back to it, that if you're not a Raiders fan, many people will say wasn't a true fumble. But it works out for the Rebels here as they do get the ball back.
So far, both offenses not able to get anything really established. Hayes early on looked like they had the run game. They deterred from it. And on their last possession, on that nice little draw play, able to pick up about a 30, 40-yard gain, almost a first down. And then, you know, they should have went under center there as a quarterback sneak, but they went back to Highwood. Highwood was stopped for a big loss, and that's where Granger got the ball back. But now Hayes back on it. Look for the run here again, Brad.
You know, despite the fumble, I do like what Granger just did, though. Getting under center, pounding the ball right up the middle with an off-tackle run. They got 8 yards or so before the contact actually happened.
And Guino in shotgun, 2 backs behind him. He hands off to one of his backs on the near side, running around, and he's still on his feet. And a nice run right there down to the 44-yard line.
Good gain of 8 on the play with a play from Brown.
Second down.
It's going to bring up second down and short here for the Hayes Rebels. And Guino in shotgun. 1 receiver to either side, has 3 backs stacked behind him. Actually, Schwartz is also back there. The handoff is to his back on the near side. Has room to run across the 40-yard line. Down to the 30, trying to find his way. Somehow tiptoes, never stepped out of bounds, it looked like from here. And a great job by Paul Brown down to the 15-yard line.
Now, Paul Brown, the young buck out there, class of 2014, and I'll tell you what, the legs were showing. You know, this is a guy who he played just a year or two ago, right? Out there for the Rebels, so showing that still he got the moves. Nice little 40-yard or so run there. A couple of back-to-back really nice runs by Brown, and he stays out on the field.
Ball down to the 15-yard line. Hayes in the red zone on the near hash mark. And Guino, the handoff back to Brown. Brown lowering his right shoulder. Brown taking him to town. Down to the 8-yard line.
Brown's asking to come out now for a play, but I think if you're Hayes, you may have found the spark plug for the offense for the rest of the afternoon.
Absolutely. They just took that little 4-cylinder, and they're trying to kick it into 8 now. And Clayton Highwood back onto the field for the Hayes Rebels.
Well, hopefully Mr. Brown's going to be okay.
He's walking. He just maybe needs a little breather here. The handoff is to Highwood, trying to stutter step his way inside, and he's going to be dropped for maybe a loss on the play.
Highwood on the carry.
Paul Brown motioning to the crowd that he'll be fine. Just throwing some water down the neck and down the sideline. Hopefully he'll be back in the game soon, but you're right. Now a chance for Hayes to get some points on the board and break this scoreless tie halfway through the second quarter.
Big third down here for the Rebels, and Guino at shotgun in between the hash marks. Man in motion. Trace Gandy. Looking to pass here is Anguino. Passing right side. In and out of the hands to Mark Hernandez. It'll bring up 4th down for the Rebels.
Looked like he may have had Hernandez open a little earlier in the play and just didn't see him down in the corner. And decision time for Hayes, I believe, because you do have a guy who kicked the ball pretty well down there in Josh Schwartz, if I remember correctly, their kicker, and looks like they're going to bring him out there.
There is a timeout on the field by the Hayes Rebels. A good timeout here. We're going to keep things right here as it's 4th down and 2. They can get that first down, Brad, at the 5-yard line. But Hayes, they got away from the running game there on 3rd down. They've been very effective from that running game as Highwood. But the real big story so far has been Paul Brown after he had that 41-yard return to put Hayes in this situation.
Yeah, really nice play there by Brown to get it was actually 3 straight running plays. He had an 8-yard play on the first play of the drive. Followed up by another 41-yard gain down the sideline where he tiptoed and almost took it to the house. And then another 4, 5, 6 yards, I believe 6 yards actually on the next play before he had to come off to the sideline for a second. But he's back in the huddle, and he may be back out there for this play if they decide to go for it on 4th and 2. Hayes, though, within field goal range, you're looking at 25-yard field goal from here. The ball's right in the middle of the field. So if you're going to try one just to get some points on the board, especially in a low-scoring game here, it might be the time to do it. There's no wind to worry about. We don't have to worry about trying to kick in or measure the wind, kicking left to right. Just a beautiful and perfect day.
Well, just over 5 minutes to go. As Brad just said, we're still scoreless here in the second quarter. It is 4th down and a big 2 for the Hayes Rebels. We'll see what Anguino has up his sleeve here for this Hayes Rebels offense.
Well, Schwartz is coming off the field, so they're going to go for this.
And they are going to go for it. Lining up in the backfield is Trace Gandy, another back behind Anguino as well. Now a man in motion is Gandy. And there could have been a false start there. We'll see if it's going to be encroachment or a false start.
They're going to call it on the defense. You can already see the motion on the far side from the umpire.
And that's going to give them the first down, Brad.
Yep, that'll move the ball inside the 5.
Ill-advised penalty there by the Granger Lions. That's going to be first down and goal now for the Hayes Rebels. Unbelievable.
If you're Hayes, try to punch this in with a couple of runs right up the middle. You got the big man back there in the backfield, Chad Miles, who we've seen pop a few runs here today already.
And Guino in shotgun, 2 backs behind him, 1 receiver to either side. The high snap, the handoff. Over to Miles as Brad just called him, and Miles maybe picks up 2 or 3 on the play. Looks like 3 down to the 1-yard line.
Yeah, really nice run. He got hit about the line of scrimmage. He dragged the defender for the extra 2-3 yards. So a nice play there by Miles. He'll come off, and Brown back on now the field for the Rebels.
Second down and goal from the 1-yard line. Will the Granger line defense be able to hold here, or is Hayes going to be the first one to strike with 4:41 to go in the second quarter? In the backfield is Ben Elisares. We've seen him break some runs today as well. Assign the handoff to the back, driving in, Paul Brown, touchdown, Hayes Rebels.
I'll tell you what, give all the credit in the world there to the left side of the line and the fullback in the backfield. It was Ben Elisares who threw one heck of a block, because Granger had a man coming up the middle, would have gotten Brown in the backfield, and it was Elisares shielding off that side of the line of scrimmage and making a wide open hole there for Brown to run through, and the Rebels take the lead.
1-yard touchdown run by Brown, and Hayes set to kick a field goal here. The snap, the kick up and away. Off of that bare right foot, and Hayes has the 7-0 lead with 4:22 to go in the first half. We're going to take a quick break. You're watching Gridiron Glory Alumni Football live on SHNSports.com.
This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by the Shoning Hip Network. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, use of sound bites and interviews, and use of any other content, including audio or video, without the direct written consent and permission by the Shoning Hip Network is strictly prohibited and protected by federal and copyright laws. All rights are reserved by the Shoning Hip Network and SHNSports.com.
We're back here on SHN Sports, Gridiron Glory Alumni Football, presented by SHN Sports. I'm Rob Hipp, alongside my good friend Brad Tillery and Rick Epstein, our public address announcer today. Brad, man, thanks for coming out here today, man. I know it was on a short notice, and we appreciate you, man. It's always fun broadcasting with you.
Yeah, definitely a good time. I know we've had talks about doing some other broadcasts with some things lately, and unfortunately my day job has had me on the road a good bit lately. I've had the pleasure of doing some McNeil basketball this year with Rick over there. But had the opportunity today to come out here and do it. Excited to be here and do the broadcast with you. And it's really, from a personal level, exciting to see the growth of SHN Sports as well. Happy for you, happy for Rick, and all the other folks that are involved with this. And super excited for the upcoming time and the years, and hopefully be able to work some more broadcasts out.
It's wonderful folks such as George Cox with Gridiron Glory that allow us to stay busy. The kick by Schwartz from left to right is Hayes, and it's fielded by Bird, the quarterback for Granger, around the 29-yard line, and Bird able to bring the ball down. He took a hard hit, and he's going to bring the ball all the way up to the 36-yard line. And he's a 1986 alum out there showing these youngins how to play ball.
I was going to say, oldest guy on the roster there for Granger, and fleet-footed, getting out there, running to the other side of the field, picking up some yardage, and getting the ball out at the 36. You know, I was thinking about something here a second ago, though. We were looking at the last drive for the touchdown for the Rebels, and you wonder if a little fatigue might hit Granger before it hits the Rebels, just on the basic numbers. Hayes is able to shuffle some guys in and out on plays, whereas it looks like Granger's playing more true two-way football just on the sheer numbers of players on the roster. So as the third and fourth quarter comes along, we'll have to keep an eye on that.
Well, the run game has been effective for Hayes so far. Granger hasn't really been able to find their offense yet. Still plenty of time. 4:10 to go in the first half. Bird. Actually, there's going to be a change of quarterback now for the Hayes Rebels. We'll get that name shortly. Quarterback standing around the 30-yard line. High snap. And he's going to take it here on the keeper and run with it, lowers his head, a nice little pickup of about 3 yards on the play there. And it was Gamble now at quarterback for the Granger Lions.
Yeah.
So now he's taking a gamble at quarterback. I don't think it's much of a gamble, though. He's a lot of athleticism out there by Gamble.
Yeah, no, it's going to open up the run game, you would think. If Gamble can get back there like you just saw the scramble on the play where he didn't have somewhere to throw, if he could find somewhere to throw and he hit some receivers, and then you have the ability to break a run as well, it should make Hayes have to respect a little more. They can't sell out to the backfield on the run game.
It's going to be 2nd down and long here. Gamble stepping back right side, and he threw it short there, the intended receiver, Marcus Hayes.
Yeah, a little bit of a jailbreak there on Gamble as the entire defensive line for the Rebels had broken through as he was rolling out to his right. So after an initial play for a run up the middle of 3 yards, now you got a long 3rd down coming up for Granger, and the Rebels with a chance to get him off the field quickly and get the ball right back with another chance to score before the half.
Well, Brad, this is the 5th possession of the afternoon for the Granger Lions. They haven't been able to get it in yet into the end zone. Looking for some light here. It is 3rd down and long, though, for these Rebels. Bird lines up. Actually, Bird was in the huddle. Now he steps back over to the far side. Gamble still in at quarterback. He's in shotgun. 2 receivers down on the near side. Empty up top. Gamble thought about running. Now he's going to pass, and that one almost intercepted by Hayes. Rebels, we've seen 2 or 3, and it was almost a pick there by Jerome Cisneros, the 1998 alum.
Yeah, it looked like Gamble wanted to pull up and try to throw deep, but the coverage was there on the back side, trying to fake a run to the right and then pull up and throw, and trying to maybe just get rid of the ball. And as he was getting rid of the ball, Hayes had a man right there with a chance to possibly intercept the ball, and Cisneros just couldn't come up with it.
Cisneros, no dineros on that one. But he'll be back. Great guys out here. What a wonderful group of athletes. It's one reason Gridiron Glory Alumni Football has been successful in their 43 months of operation, 43 games. Back in action here. 4th down and about 7. Gamble. They're going to go for it. And now a whistle blows the play dead. It will be a timeout against charge to Granger. We'll keep things right here. 3:20 to go. Hayes leading 7-0, Brad.
That's something to keep in your mind now. Granger just used their last timeout of the half, all of them on offense. So 2 of them actually on 1st down after a change of possessions. So they don't have another chance to stop the clock if they're able to either pick up this 1st down, or maybe stop Hayes in time to get the ball back for one final drive if you need that stoppage to try to punch one in the end zone. But so far, a defensive game, 7-0. Really, the biggest plays of the game have come for Hayes, with the exception of the one big return by Granger earlier in the game. But it's been a struggle. Both teams have been able to get penetration in the backfield, and that's stalled both offenses. And it wasn't until Hayes decided they were just going to play old-fashioned pound-them-out football that they really started moving the ball in the last drive.
That ball at the 39-yard line. It is a 4th down here for Granger. I wonder after that timeout they decided to punt. Look for Gamble here, maybe on a pooch punt. It is 4th down and long, and trips line up down to the left. Gamble looking. He's going to pass. And now the double play. It's going to be a pass down to the 30-yard line. Has a man wide open across the 20. Going down across the 10. What a run. What a pass right there. Touchdown. Granger on the trick play. Running in was Patrick Gamble.
Trenton Gamble on the quarterback. Leonard Hinojosa with the throw, and it's not going to count.
Wow.
Penalty on the play goes against Granger. A great trick play on the double pass, and instead it goes for naught.
And we got that on video.
Yeah, we had it.
So,
we have it.
Man, tough break there for Granger as the brother to brother had the touchdown, the Gamble brothers, and unfortunately it's going to be called back there on a penalty. Looked like a late penalty flag as well. And that ball is going to step back 5 yards.
I think it was a motion penalty, if I'm not mistaken. Legal motion.
And it did look like that. I was going to mention that. The play had broke so quickly, but Granger was still trying to get set on that play whenever they snapped the ball.
We'll have to pocket that one in the back of our memory as this game goes along. Would be a tie game right now, or at least kicking for the tie instead. 4th and 12 now for the Lions. they got to hurry up and get this play in because you might be looking at a delay of game here soon.
They're going to go for it again here as Trenton Gamble in a quarterback in shotgun. 2 receivers up top to the right, 1 down to the left. The snap, Gamble looking, scanning. Over to the left side, that one's going to be almost intercepted. Boy, we have seen 3 or 4 of those. That one in and out of the hands of Paul Brown.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Brown upset that he dropped it, but Trenton Gamble, I believe his brother, Patrick Gamble, kind of looked back at him, waving his hands in the air at about the 50-yard line saying, look down here because there's no one with me. And had he seen him, I'll tell you what, you would have just had the 88 Patrick Gamble running back into the end zone one more time on the very next play because he was there all by his lonesome. Instead, the misread, and Hayes gets the ball back with a chance to extend the lead here late in the first half.
Yeah, 2:59 to go. Hayes leading 7-0 in great field position here after Granger with about a 60-yard pass on a trick play down to Patrick Gamble, called back on an illegal motion. They try to pass again. Turnover on downs. Hayes starting out here on the Granger, looks like 34-yard line. And Guino stepping back, throwing into the corner. That one in and out of the hands, incomplete. Great defense by Hayes. Granger. It was 2-on-1.
Yeah, broken up down there by Patrick Gamble and Daniel Carr. Old 88 Patrick Gamble playing both ways in the secondary on defense and a receiver on offense, and doing well out there. Looks like playing quarterback out there on defense a little bit. He's got the towel hanging out, calling the plays in from the safety position out in the middle of the D.
Hey, man, these guys take these games seriously, as they should. They prepare for weeks at a time. They love getting out here, getting back on the gridiron, and reliving the glory. 2nd down and 10, and Guino. The handoff to his back on the near side, darting over the 30, now the 25-yard line, finally brought down. A nice run right there by Clayton Highwood, and he picks up enough for the Hayes Rebels first down at the 23-yard line.
That's just smart football by Hayes. They've been able to move the ball on the ground so far, most of the day rather, but especially here in this second quarter. And when the pass play doesn't work, you can loosen up the defense, even though it was an incomplete down to Pringle. Chance to get the run game back going, and if Hayes can punch one in here, you would like to think they're going to have a lot of confidence going into the half.
2:25 to go here. The handoff this time on the far side to Clayton Highwood again, and Highwood reshuffles his direction and picks up a few more yards there. Nice footwork down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. It's going to bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, another 4 or 5-yard pickup, and Hayes content to slow this game up a little bit here and run the ball. I don't know if a timeout was called or if they're going to measure something here. Couldn't tell. Got the clock stopped at 2:10.
A lot of folks here today. We appreciate everyone in attendance, and a lot of folks here working to make this game possible. We appreciate the clock keeper, Rick Epstein, also a PA. Special thanks, as always, to our good friend, Mr. George Cox, for organizing Gridiron Glory and getting these guys back out on the gridiron.
We missed it, but there was a penalty call there on Granger, so Hayes taking the penalty. It's about the same distance as the run, so you might as well get the down back, so 1st and 5 here.
Just under 2 minutes now. Of course, no 2-minute warning in Alumni football, but it is under 2 minutes in the first half. And Guino at shotgun. He's going to pass here. Steps back, scanning. And now Granger showing pressure, and Anguino still trying to fight his way, and he's going to be brought down for a sack down to the 25-yard line.
The Busby brothers, Jacob and Josh, back there getting a chance to make a combined tackle, as it looked like Josh with the initial pressure and Jacob cleaning up the mess on the backside. And really good defense by the 2 linemen, as Jacob and Josh play on the same side of the line too, so maybe a little combo play on the end, and able to make a tackle in the sack in the backfield.
Beg your pardon, Hayes here takes a timeout.
Yeah. And this is, I'll tell you what, a situation of the game with 1:29 to go in the first half, 7-0 Hayes. Even if they're not able to punch one in for the end zone, we talked about having the ability to have a kicker during this Alumni game, and Hayes has got a pretty good kicker in Josh Schwartz. We know he can knock one in from 30, 35, 40 yards, so if they can pick up a little bit, maybe another 5, 10 yards here, you may have a chance of getting 3 points before the half and taking a double-digit lead heading into it.
Josh Schwartz, the barefoot one, the right-handed barefoot kicker.
It's much easier to watch him do this today because the last time I saw him kick, it was like 25 to 30 degrees, and he's kicking in bare feet. It was windy. I don't know. You and I were up in the press box trying to stay warm, and these guys are out there freezing, and he's kicking with a bare foot. I don't know how he did it.
Probably the coldest day that we've had so far. It hasn't been cold this winter. It's going to be 2nd down and long here for the Hayes Rebels. The handoff and actually a fumble there, and Guino able to fall back onto it. A little miscommunication as he was trying to hand the ball off, I believe, to Paul Brown.
It was. And it looks like Brown just got past him before the ball was in the breadbasket on the handoff. And the clock's still running now, almost under a minute to go here in the first half.
It's going to bring up 3rd and very long. The ball back down to the 31-yard line. They've got to get up to the 18 for the first down. So big loss here, and Hayes trying to get this first down converted.
Yeah, look for the ball to go towards Pringle here this way.
And Guino, instead, the pitch out over to the right side. And Highwood had some room to run, got tripped up around the 25-yard line, and that's where he'll fall short. 47 seconds to go. The clock's still running here. The ball at the 25-yard line. And wonder if we'll see Schwartz here for the kick or if Hayes will try to put one in as time expires.
That was Antonio Baraka on the play to make the shoestring tackle to stop Highwood on the run. A nice play by him as he was able to stop what probably would have turned out to be 10, 15-yard gain on the play because Highwood was picking up speed.
Granger will go for it here. 4th down and long. The handoff over to Highwood on the far. I beg your pardon, that's actually Paul Brown. And Brown getting very close to that first down. 15 seconds on the clock. Did he get it? It's all going to depend on where the spot of this ball is, but from up here, it looked very close, Brad.
Yeah, that's really close, and they might actually have to measure this thing.
Haven't seen many measurements on Alumni football, but this one is going to be close, and they say no, turnover on downs, just inches short. Tough break there for Paul Brown and the Hayes Rebels.
Yeah, well, now they're going to call timeout, and I think they're actually going to come back and measure this thing. Referee calling for the timeout, and yeah, the sticks are coming in.
Yeah, they will measure here, and that's a good call because it's very close.
It's super, super close down there.
Wonder if we can zoom in on that as they measure here. Let's see if we can get this one.
As close as we can down there.
Bringing the measuring sticks out. That ball pretty close, and it's going to be a...
I mean, you can't get any closer, but it's a first down.
Boy, thank goodness for the measurement there. The Hayes Rebels and Paul Brown, and they pick up the first down. What a run right there.
Yeah, really nice run by Brown. I'll tell you what, it looked like Hayes, after the initial call of turnover, started arguing for the measurement, and the referee gave him the measurement, and the nose of the football touching, as it appeared from the zoom in there, the nose of the football touching the end of the stick and just enough for the first down. But now you got 15 seconds to go. I believe Hayes still has one more timeout in its pocket, so you can run one more play before getting out there on a field goal try.
Hayes here on their 5th possession of the afternoon, trying to score. With 15 seconds to go, they lead 7-0. The ball on the far side hash mark around the 13-yard line. And Guino at shotgun, 2 backs to either side, 1 receiver to either side. Steps back, looking. He's going to pass over to the left corner, and it's caught but out of bounds. And Hayes thinks that they had it in. And from here, he looked like he was definitely out of bounds. A nice catch, though, right there by Peyton Pringle.
Yeah, definitely a nice play. You like the idea of going to the back of the end zone just a little too deep on the throw, and 7 seconds left on the clock. They might try to go for the end zone again here, but you got to do it quickly, you would think.
Yeah, that last play took off 8 seconds.
Yeah.
Sure didn't seem like it, though. They should have an opportunity if they go quickly here to try to punch one more in. If not, then they can bring out the barefoot kicker, Josh Schwartz.
I don't know that I wouldn't bring him out right now, though.
We've got one more play here. 7 seconds to go. Look for a pass again on the corner. And Guino in shotgun, stepping back this time over the middle. And intercepted by Granger. Actually, nope. They're going to say he didn't catch it. It looked like he had it around the 5. There's 1 second left here. We'll see if Hayes gets Schwartz out there. They appear that they're lining up for the field goal here. The ball.
Yeah, that was Antonio Baraka.
No, they're going to say it was intercepted. Wow. So it was intercepted by Granger.
Well, he got up pounding the ground like he didn't have the ball.
Yeah.
So that's what led me to believe that it wasn't an interception. But it sure looks like they're going to give the turnover to the Lions. And now if you're Hayes, I know you wanted to get some extra yardage if you could, but maybe leaving 3 points on the field there as we head to the half with 1 second to go.
Well, they're on their own 5-yard line, so they got 95 yards to go, and
5 wide formation here for you.
quarterback lines up in the end zone. Steps back here, passing over the middle, caught, and still on his feet on the near side, finally brought down around the 15-yard line. A nice grab right there by Leonard Hinojosa, and that will end the first half of play. The Hayes Rebels lead the Granger Lions 7-0. We'll be right back with a little halftime analysis. You're watching Gridiron Glory Alumni Football presented by SHN Sports. We'll be right back after this.
This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by the Shoning Hip Network. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, use of sound bites and interviews, and use of any other content, including audio or video, without the direct written consent and permission by the Shoning Hip Network is strictly prohibited and protected by federal and copyright laws. All rights are reserved by the Shoning Hip Network and SHNSports.com.
Welcome back to Gridiron Glory Alumni Football presented by SHN Sports. I'm Rob Hipp alongside my good friend Brad Tillery. Brad, not a lot of offense in that first half. The Hayes Rebels lead the Granger Lions 7-0. It was only a 1-yard touchdown run by Paul Brown, and that's the only score that we've had here this afternoon.
Yeah, I'd say Paul Brown is your MVP so far here in this ball game. You know, he's been the catalyst for this Hayes offense. They had the 1-yard touchdown run, but it was that same drive where he had, a 40-yard gain, an 8-yard gain, another 6 or 7-yard gain on 3 consecutive plays. And even in this last little bit here, on the last drive of the half where the turnover happened, might have had a chance for a field goal. Brown with a really nice play on I believe it was like a 3rd or 4th down, about 18 to go, picks up a first down. So I think if you're Hayes, you've seen what's starting to work as you go towards this second half, up 7-0, and maybe trying to wear down Granger. But Granger, they've had a couple of big plays. They had the large return earlier in the half. That was by Trenton Gamble. An 80-yard return, just couldn't make it, couldn't find anything to do with it after they moved it all the way down to the 20-yard line of Hayes. And then the one that really sticks out at you, the double pass to Patrick Gamble, touchdown, and unfortunately a motion penalty brings it all the way back. And it brings the score off the board as well for Granger. Otherwise, you'd be looking at a tie game here at halftime.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's been the Gamble brothers over on the Granger side of things, and just unfortunately, both big plays not able to result in any points on the board. And that's kind of where we said, these halftimes, a 10-minute break here, but we've got a good one so far. Granger's still in the ball game. Rebels lead again 7-0, but still a lot of time here in the second half of play. And we'll see what the Gamble brothers can do. I'm pretty sure they're brothers. So if they're not, we apologize.
We're guessing. I mean, we're guessing, but it's educated guessing. I mean, you got the Gambles out there, both of them within 2 years of graduating each other. One in 2008, one in 2010. We took the same guess with Jacob and Josh Busby, figuring within a few years of each other. It tends to make sense. But educated guess that we got a couple of brothers out there, and Patrick actually looked back at his brother Trenton earlier in the game. It was the play right after that double pass. Patrick was wide open about the 50, 45-yard line, and maybe something they'll talk about come Thanksgiving dinner next year. Like, hey, remember that time we were playing Hayes in the Alumni game and you missed me for a wide-open touchdown in the second quarter? Now I get the extra piece of the extra piece of turkey. That's the way this is going to work.
Well, Hinojosa, beg your pardon, Trenton Gamble is a 2010 graduate, and then Patrick Gamble, an 08 graduate. So a lot of great guys out here on the gridiron. Again, we want to give a special thanks to our fine friends over at Round Rock Independent School District for this beautiful facility here at Kelly Reeves Athletic Complex, and also Dwayne Wyrick, the athletic director. Wonderful group of folks, and also can never leave out Mr. George Cox. And what's funny is I was just giving George Cox thanks, and there he comes through the door back there. So,
grab a microphone here, George. Well, let's get your mic. Let me set it out. Yeah, grab it up. let's get you in the camera angle over here. And
Yeah, Brett, I'll let you chat with George this time, man.
Well, yeah. So
Man, you guys are going to fight over who gets to talk to me? Is
well,
that the deal?
yeah, that's what we'll do because we're gonna have to.
Yeah, here, we'll put the headset
We'll put
on
the
you.
headset on. Get a little echo going. Sorry about this, folks, but we want to get George in here and really talk about Gridiron Glory. Give Rob the man behind SHN Sports. Have a seat. We got a chair.
No,
We're
I'm
to
good.
go.
Taking a knee. That's
We're gonna
that's
do
where
it.
I spent most of my life anyway. One knee in front of the coach while he was yelling at me.
Well, I don't know if I'm really doing any yelling or a coach, but definitely a chance to sit down and talk. And it's good to see you again, George.
It's nice to see you too, Brad.
I haven't seen you since
November. Yep.
Back when we did the Hayes game, and they were playing Dripping
Springs.
And we've talked about it a few times. A very cold night down there.
It was, and we had the exact opposite of that today.
Yeah.
It's very hot.
So tell us about the growth of Gridiron Glory, because I know we were down there and you were talking with Rob about potentially doing more games, and it sounds like I know Rod's been all over the state doing Gridiron Glory games lately. 43rd game, 43 months, and it's growing exponentially.
That's right. We can actually say now that we've played alumni high school football game as far east as you can go in Texas, Burkeville, Texas, and then as far west as you can go in El Paso, Texas. So we've got Texas covered from all the way to the east to the west. We're going to do some games this summer up in Stamford, coming up in April, actually, not summer. And I'm pretty proud of what we've done so far. The first year we did 4 games. The second year we did 12, filmed a movie and a Dick's Sporting Goods commercial. And then in our third year we did 21 games, and hopefully this year we're going to get up to about 32.
Which I don't think people understand the undertaking of what goes on. How do people get involved with Gridiron Glory if they decide, hey, we see this broadcast, we've heard about this, we decide we want to get our team back out there? How can they get involved with you and reach out to you?
Facebook is a great marketing tool. It's a great tool for people to stay in touch. You just get with your buddies and get them to register and then start talking to each other. It's that easy. All it is just talking. And then when you get 10, 15 guys, give me a call and let me know. It typically takes anywhere between 2 to 3 months from beginning to the actual game to build it up. It's very time consuming, but those last 2-3 weeks starts going real fast as everything starts falling into places. Getting the athletic directors to rent us a stadium, and that all speeds up the process.
As you've gotten into this more and more, what have you seen the reaction of the community's been as they've seen some of these guys who still live in the community? They played high school football there. How have their families and their kids really reacted to seeing their husband or their father getting out there and playing ball again?
Well, this is a great concept, alumni football, and that's one of the reasons why I fell in love with it, because when I've seen it played before, guys, both teams come off the field with big smiles on their faces. They've got their moms, their dads. They haven't seen them play since they were 18 years old. They got their wives or girlfriends that never saw them play. They met them after high school. They've got their kids there, and everyone's just beaming, smiling from ear to ear. Communities love it. They love to get out, and we're trying to make these more fundraising efforts now than just 40 to 50 guys getting out and play football. We'd like to be able to give back to the community more.
Yeah, I remember we talked a few times about this game a few months ago. There was a fundraising that night actually down in Dripping Springs, correct?
We did. We were doing a fundraiser for the Keith Tuck alumni football game that night.
As we move along, and this keeps growing. You're talking about 30-plus games next year. We're talking tonight. There's a championship bracket. It's 4 teams play kind of a bracket. Maybe you thought of a full statewide bracket at some point in the future?
That'd be fantastic. Originally we wanted this tournament to have 8 teams, and we were asking teams from Snyder and Stamford and Abilene, a bunch of schools down in Southeast Texas, some of the West Texas schools. It'd be great if we could get representation from all parts of the great state of Texas in the tournament next year, and we can just kind of make this thing grow a little bit bigger.
So as we mentioned earlier, folks get it with their team, deciding, Facebook, Twitter, however they decide to hang out and get their teams together. After they've got a team, they say, hey, we're ready to play. How do they reach out to you?
Just gridironglory.com.
All right.
Go out there and get registered, or reach me at george.cox@gridironglory.com. It's that simple. And all they got to do is reach out to me, and then I'll communicate with them, and we'll just start building it from there. I'm really excited about tonight's game, that championship game you mentioned, the Hardin-Jefferson Hawks coming up from the Beaumont area to take on the Georgetown Eagles alumni. At halftime, we should have the Austin Acoustics, the girls' football team, the Legends Football League.
Yeah.
So we should have those guys up here, or those ladies rather, up here tonight, and they do play some really good football. It's some hard-hitting football.
I saw a documentary on those ladies about a year ago, actually, for the Legends Football League. They come out with some bruises and some broken bones like you've never seen. I don't want to get on the field with him.
I know.
That's like trying to get into an octagon with Ronda Rousey. Don't get me in there.
Exactly. It's going to be interesting to get to meet those ladies tonight, and I believe their season's going to kick off in April, and they're going to be playing at the Cedar Park Center, so that should be fun.
Yeah, if you've never been to Cedar Park Center and you're here local in the Austin area, great venue to go see sports. They got the home of the Texas Stars, the Dallas Stars, top affiliate for hockey, home of the Austin Spurs, the San Antonio Spurs, top affiliate in the NBA,
That's
and
right.
now a chance for the Legends Football League to kick off over there as well. George Cox, the man behind Gridiron Glory, thank you for your time.
Thank you,
for
Brad.
putting this on. It's good to see you again, sir, and we look forward to doing more for you here at SHN Sports.
All right, I appreciate it. I'm going to turn this back over to Rob Hipp.
Well, as Rob gets his headsets on, we could say that the broadcast probably just got a little less pretty with George walking away.
Yeah.
But, we're going to – it's okay as Rob comes back in. And, Rob, take on the growth of Gridiron Glory.
Yeah, it's been phenomenal. We've talked about it several times already this afternoon, that 43 games in 43 months. And Mr. Cox is just on his way to really putting together something fantastic here in the state of Texas and beyond. And as he said earlier, all you have to do is go to gridironglory.com to check that out. Again, it's gridironglory.com. We just put it up on the screen there. And all it takes is one person if you want to get out and play football again and relive the glory days. And it's a serious league. It's turning into a league, and it's a serious league, Brad.
And that's what you said something before the broadcast that made my eyebrow raise. You said, I've got a buddy who plays this for Georgetown, who's playing later on tonight. He's sitting there on a Tuesday night watching film, getting ready for the beginning of this
exactly.
weekend. It's quite interesting how serious these guys are taking it. You were watching Hayes warm up earlier, and the hooting and the hollering that was going on, and getting pumped up for the game here today. It really is a fun thing to watch, and to see these guys get out there and get a chance to strap them up one more time,
Absolutely. Well, we'll see what the second half has. We're just about a minute before we kick things off here in the second half. Again, the score is 7-0. The Hayes Rebels lead the Granger Lions. It's so far been all Paul Brown on the scoring, that 1-yard touchdown run, but after a big 41-yard return, and that's where we sit right now. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, the kickoff of the third quarter.
This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by the Shoning Hip Network. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, use of sound bites and interviews, and use of any other content, including audio or video, without the direct written consent and permission by the Shoning Hip Network is strictly prohibited and protected by federal and copyright laws. All rights are reserved by the Shoning Hip Network and SHNSports.com.
Well, we're getting set here for the start of the third quarter. About 30 seconds to go before the teams take the field again. On the clock out there, 7-0 your score as the Hayes Rebels lead the Granger Lions alumni team. The third place game of this little tournament going on, the championship game tonight, as you heard. So if you got time and you're in the Round Rock, Austin area, 7 o'clock kickoff tonight as they play the championship game. Should be a lot of fun out here. Chance to come out and see some folks and support your local community as well. And I believe it will be Hayes getting the ball first, as they won the toss and deferred back at the start of the game. Hayes with all the scoring, 7-0. A 1-yard touchdown plunge by Paul Brown. Paul Brown with a couple of big runs here today so far. Granger's had a chance as far as getting points on the board. They had a long touchdown on a double pass, a fourth down play on a 4th and 8 from about their own 42-yard line. Pass went to Patrick Gamble. It was actually Trenton Gamble under center. He gave it over to Leonard Hinojosa on a backwards pass. And then they hit Patrick Gamble down the sideline, who raced in the end zone by himself, but the play was called back on a motion penalty, and therefore the points taken off the board. So 7-0, the Hayes Rebels leading the Granger Lions here at the Kelly Reeves Athletic Complex on a picture-perfect day for anything you want to do outside. Football, golf, whatever the case may be. It doesn't get much prettier. About 72, 73 degrees, a slight breeze, just a couple of stray, beautiful white clouds, the non-threatening kind in the sky that give that contrast that you just have the paintings on. If it was Bob Ross, he'd say, we're going to put a pretty little cloud here and a pretty little cloud there as you paint the picture. But just a gorgeous day as we get set to get back going here in half number 2. Hayes wearing the red jerseys with the white pants or the red pants, depending on who's got them on down there. And the Granger Lions, the men in black, all black tops and black bottoms. And Granger will kick off to start half number 2 as the officials rejoin us on the field, and the teams retake the field as well.
Looking forward to the third quarter here, just getting set to kick off. Again, thanks for watching Gridiron Glory Alumni Football presented by SHN Sports, where the Hayes Rebels have a 7-0 lead over the Granger Lions. As we talked about earlier several times, Paul Brown, the only score for either team on that 1-yard touchdown run, and that's where we sit here. And, you know, you got to wonder here, will Granger come out, Brad, and continue their ground game? It's worked for them. It really has worked for them. But so far, there really hasn't been much rhythm on their offense.
No, and every time they've gotten the rhythm going, it's been with that ground game, especially with Paul Brown. They've also had a couple of really nice runs from Chad Miles in there, and I believe there was Clayton Highwood had a nice run or two. So I think if you're Hayes, a couple of reasons you want that ground game to keep going. One, it's been effective. Two, and we mentioned this earlier in the broadcast, you have a few more bodies than Granger does, so you might be able to wear them down a little bit getting into the second half of the ball game, as most of the Granger team is playing two-way football, while as maybe only a few guys on the Hayes side are doing that right now.
Well, both teams have actually, Hayes has had the ball 5 times this afternoon, Granger 6 times. So Granger with one more possession, but you can't really count that last 6th possession because there was only 1 second left at the end of the half when they intercepted.
1 second, got the ball on their own 5-yard line, and kind of just a little pass to see if you could break one, nothing major, as both teams now taking the field here for the second half of play.
Granger will kick off. Hayes set back to receive. The action's going to be from right to left. As we're just back underway here on SHN Sports. Third quarter back underway. I'm Rob Hipp alongside Brad Tillery. Welcome to Gridiron Glory presented by SHN Sports. The kick off, and Hayes is going to field it around the 15-yard line. It's Highwood running around on the near side, trying to cross over the 30. Big block up ahead, and Highwood able to pick up a few more yards right there. And I beg your pardon, that was Paul Brown down to the 30. They're going to call him down at the 37-yard line. A nice run right there by Paul Brown.
Yeah, he's been Mr. Do Everything for Hayes, and kind of a lot of speed for Brown, an opportunity for him also to just plant a foot and get up the field. So a really nice job by him once again.
Again, we're just underway here in the third period. The Hayes Rebels lead 7-0 over the Granger Lions, and they have the ball. They're going to start their drive from their own 37-yard line. And this is Hayes' 6th drive of the afternoon as well.
Like Josh Schwartz running in a play there from the sideline. Maybe playing coordinator down there a little bit. He is the offensive coordinator, actually.
Doing it all. And Guino, the handoff. Over to Brown. And Brown diving his way around, lowering his head and fighting for more yardage. A nice 9-yard pickup right there by Paul Brown.
Yeah, you might see the offensive coordinator, Schwartz, the barefoot kicker, calling a little more of those if he's picking up 9-10 yards a game.
I was wanting to say he was eating up some yardage, but I'm starting to get hungry, so I don't want to use the word eat right now.
See, I was at the grocery store earlier when I spoke to you, so I had to make a sandwich when I came over, got a nice hearty one. One of those where my wife looks at me and goes, "Where's mine?" And then half my sandwich is gone.
Happy wife, happy life. The ball at the 46-yard line on the far side hash mark, and Guino in shotgun. 2 receivers down to the right, 1 up top to the left. This time the handoff to his back. Nice Barry Sanders spin move by Elisar as he picks up the first down into Granger Lion territory. They're going to mark him down at the 47-yard line.
Really nice job by Elisar. Right at the line of scrimmage with the spin move, kind of the old R2 button, right? On the Xbox. Hit the trigger button, you're good to go.
I was trying to say Barry Sanders-esque move out there. First down here for the Hayes Rebels on the far hash mark. And Guino at shotgun. 2 receivers down to the right, 1 up top to the left. And Guino fumbles the ball, falls on it. And they're going to consider that a sack back down to the 44-yard line. Big loss on the play.
Loss on the play. Back to
A couple of times today, Hayes has fumbled that shotgun snap, and it's cost him, and that's a 10-yard, 10-yard loss on the play there, as unfortunately Hayes now in a hole at second and about 19, second and 20 to go.
9:55 and running here in the third quarter. The Hayes Rebels lead 7-0 over the Granger Lions. It's going to be second down and long. And Guino in shotgun, 2 receivers down to the right, 1 up top to the left. This time the handoff. It is to Brown. Brown hearing the helmets clash right at the 50-yard line, and they're going to give him forward progress at the 50. And in fact, they're going to move it over into Granger territory at the 49.
Yeah.
Nice run right there by Brown.
He was met right up the middle, though, about 10 yards down the field. I believe it was Michael Winfrey that got in there on the head. Class of 1992. It was he and Marcus Hayes, and a really nice pad popping down there as we have a third down coming up for Hayes.
92 showing him what to do. That's cool to have these older guys out there acting as mentors, but they still want to play, and they can play.
Tell you, teach the youngin' a lesson down there, because you got Paul Brown, the class of 2014, so a 22-year difference. But
Second down and 13, and Guino rolling over to the right, looking, passing over to the right side, has his man, and trying to find his way back in bounds. Unfortunately, steps out. A nice catch, though, right there by number 22, Trace Gandy. He's going to be a little short of that first down, Brad, by about 4 yards.
yeah, you know what, though? That's not a bad play. You don't need it all right there on that third down play. You're in a 4th and 4, 4th and 5 situation. Very manageable for Hayes and a run-pass option, really, with the way they've been running the ball.
That ball is at the 41-yard line of the Granger Lions. The Hayes Rebels will go for it here. They line up. Receiver up top to the left is Peyton Pringle. 1 receiver down to the right. And Guino in shotgun. This time rolling, hands off to his back, has room. Looks like he's going to pick up the first, but he gets slammed down right before the 1st-yard marker. What a great job right there by the defense of the Granger Lions, stopping the Hayes Rebels in their tracks. Clayton Highwood thought he had it. Granger put a dot on it.
Patrick Gamble with the tackle. Gamble, the man who had the touchdown taken back from him earlier on the penalty, on the motion penalty on the offensive line on the same play. But a really nice job of chasing that ball down from behind by Gamble, and gets the stop and the ball back for the Granger Lions, and keeps the lead for Hayes only at 7 points.
8:42 to go in the third quarter. Thanks for watching Gridiron Glory Alumni Football presented by SHN Sports. Rob Hipp alongside Brad Tillery. Rick Epstein is our public address announcer here at the beautiful Kelly Reeves Athletic Complex. And the Granger Lions, on their 7th possession of the afternoon, take over on downs after a big defensive play on their own 39-yard line. Bird back in at quarterback, under center. 1 receiver down to the left. The pitch out over to the right side. Has his back, trying to dart his way around, and Hayes read it beautifully for about a 3-yard loss on the play.
Yeah, that was Joel Jalomo in there with the tackle. Nice form tackle right in the midsection there, a couple of yards back in the backfield on the pitch play. And makes up 2nd and long quickly for Granger.
And I believe that ball went to Daniel Carr, the running back for the Granger Lions. It's going to be 2nd down and long here. The ball sitting just beyond the 35-yard line at the Granger 36-yard line. Under 8 minutes to play now in the third quarter. Bird lines up under center. Takes the snap, it falls, and Hayes appears that they may have fallen on it. We'll see what the call is here. Maybe Bird got it back. He was fighting for the ball there, and
yeah, he got it right back.
Did get the ball back.
for a loss. Back to
It's going to be a big loss, though, down to the 33-yard line.
third down and 16.
You just heard that in the background, a big 3rd down and 16. That's really been the problem here with either team, for that matter, Brad, is they get some yardage, but they're ending up in these 3rd down and long situations, making it very hard to convert and get that 1st down.
Yeah, not able to sustain plays back to back to back or sustain drives, and that's what kept this game at a 7-0 score.
Quarterback in now. Pringle on the keeper, trying to dive his way around, and he's going to pick up a few more yards back to the 37-yard line.
Trenton Gamble back there playing quarterback.
That was Gamble, beg your pardon.
He's the 2nd quarterback of the day for Granger. They started with Jim Bird back there early in the game, and Granger has gone to the more fleet-footed quarterback in Trenton Gamble, class of 2010, as he's been able to break a couple of runs from that position as well. However, you're going to have to start moving the ball through the air a little bit to open up that run game up the middle.
Granger appears to go for it here as Gamble sitting on the 30-yard line in shotgun. 2 receivers to either side. Gamble takes the low snap, bounces around, goes right back in his hand, and a pass over to the right side, and he's going to be stopped well short of the first down. That's going to be a turnover on downs. It'll be Hayes football.
Yeah, maybe I'd like to see Gamble scan the field a little bit there. He had the fumbled snap, picked it up, just kind of tossed it to the running back coming out of the backfield, but I think had he perused downfield a bit, he might have found a guy open at about the 50-yard line. There's no pressure there.
Again, unfortunately for the Lions, they're not able to roar their way into another first down, and so the Rebels will take over here. In great field position again, the Hayes Rebels are going to be at the 37-yard line. And it's kind of identical where they started last time. These teams have been starting field position has been
the 50 or better most of the game.
A lot of it's been pretty efficient as far as benefiting the offense, but they're not able to turn it in. So far, Hayes the only one to cash in. So they're actually going to be on the Granger 37-yard line.
Wishbone.
And up in the bone this time. The run down to a nice run. Going to pick up around 5 yards down to the 33-yard line.
When did Pat Dye start coaching the Hayes Rebels down here, breaking out a wishbone? Haven't seen one of those in a long time.
The officials asking for the clock to continue running, and it does. It's going to be second down here for the Hayes Rebels. Lining up under center is Anguino. The pitch back over to the near side. Darting around. Another hard hit right there. Lowering his shoulder, picking up a few more yards as Clayton Highwood down to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, that's Antonio Baraka again. He's been all over the field on the defensive side for the Granger Lions. A couple of big hits by him and some really nice tackles throughout the game. But 3rd and 3, and we were talking a minute ago about long third downs. It's really only the second and third time today that we've seen a third manageable situation for either team.
On the near side, hash mark Anguino under center. This time, the handoff back to Highwood, and Highwood initially hit, able to keep on his feet, and he may have picked up enough. He does. He picks up enough for the first down on that second effort down to the 26-yard line.
Yeah, ballerina feet down there to stay up. That's not an easy thing to do because he got hit low, but was able to keep his feet and get the extra yard or two and move those chains.
Yeah, it looked like initially he may have been down, but his knees never touched. He was able to scavenge his way up and rebel his way in for that first down to the 26-yard line. First down and 10 on the near side hash mark. Anguino back to that under center position. This time the pitch out over to the left side. Nice blocking up front. Running down the field is Trace Gandy, and Gandy still on his feet down to the 15-yard line. A big block by Clayton Highwood gives Gandy the big yardage all the way down to the 15-yard line. Another Hayes Rebels first down.
Gandy with a nice play, class of 2010. But you wonder how much some of these younger guys even know what a wishbone looks like, lining up in the bone down there, and it's working. Going to the left, and a nice run by Gandy.
Great job on that offensive line as well by number 77, Lex Ortiz. And now we see Paul Brown making his way back into the huddle. Coming off the field is Trace Gandy after that big run moments ago. 4:42 to go in the third quarter. The Hayes Rebels lead 7-0. On the Granger 15-yard line, this time on the far hash mark. Anguino going to remain under center. The pitch out over to the right side. Running around, and this time stopped as Highwood tried to lower his shoulder, but they got him that time.
I'll give you one guess on who made the tackle for Granger there. Antonio Baraka, one more time.
Baraka putting on the heat right now against the Rebels on defense. And coming onto the field is Josh Busby, the 2006 alum, for Brian Hamilton on the Granger sideline. And that ball more near the near hash mark as Anguino under center again. This time the direct handoff over to Ben Elizares, and Elizares able to pick up a few yards inside the 10-yard line.
Really nice play by Elizares there. Actually took the handoff from that up back position and a little juke move to the left with some quick feet because the defensive lineman was right there for the tackle. And instead of the immediate tackle, he picks up 3 or 4 makes it third and manageable here for the Rebels.
It's going to be 3rd down and 4 in between the hash marks. They can get to the 5-yard line and get that first down. And Guino pitches over to the left side, and Paul Brown stopped immediately. Actually, yeah, they're going to say that he stopped. We were waiting to hear the whistle there. Paul Brown and the Hayes Rebels once again, solid defense stopping on a 3rd and manageable situation for the Hayes Rebels.
Yeah, that was Daniel Carr there with the tackle. Really good job of reading that play. Brown might need to be a little more patient coming out of there, because I think if he had waited for the block and set it up, it would have been able to get out there on the first down. Instead, he tried to go around it, and it allowed Carr to get out and make the tackle, and a really well-done play on the defensive side. And decision time for the offensive coordinator, Mr. Schwartz.
Well, we're going to take a break. When we come back after the timeout, it's going to be 4th down for the Hayes Rebels. We'll be right back. You're watching Gridiron Glory Alumni Football here, presented by SHN Sports.
This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by the Shoning Hip Network. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, use of sound bites and interviews, and use of any other content, including audio or video, without the direct written consent and permission by the Shoning Hip Network is strictly prohibited and protected by federal and copyright laws. All rights are reserved by the Shoning Hip Network and SHNSports.com.
Welcome back to Gridiron Glory Alumni Football presented by SHN Sports. I'm Rob Hipp alongside Brad Tillery. 2:53 to go in the 3rd quarter. The Hayes Rebels lead the Granger line 7-0. They're driving here, though. They got stopped short. It's going to be 4th down from the 15-yard line.
We're going to kick a field goal here.
And they do line up for the field goal. Josh Schwartz out there on the far hash mark with that right bare foot. The holder is Anguino. The snap back, the kick is up and away, and it's good. A nice kick right there, and the Hayes Rebels extend their lead 10-0 with 2:47 to go. We'll keep it right here.
Yeah, that's the weapon that Hayes has that maybe some of these other teams in the alumni game don't have, and that's Josh Schwartz. You know, the barefoot kicker and the offensive coordinator out there to add some points on the board. The All Gridiron Glory team member from 2014. 1 field goal and 11, actually now 2 field goals and 11 extra points so far this Gridiron Glory season for him. And a nice kick extends the lead out now to 2 scores. And with the way the defense is playing here for Hayes so far, that might be enough the rest of the way.
How far was that kick? I was trying to notice on the field. I believe that he
should have been about 32 yards. They line up at about the 15-yard line.
So 32 on it.
Yeah, really nice kick there.
So on their 7th possession of the afternoon, the Hayes Rebels able to put some more points on the board here. They'll kick off from left to right to the Granger lines. Granger going to try to respond here, Brad, with 2:47 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, Granger has got to get some offense going. You'd like to see them trying to maybe get the ball on the outside quickly, as Patrick Gamble has shown some speed as a receiver and actually on the defensive side in the secondary as well. So we know Gamble can get out there and make some things happen very quickly. Maybe a little bubble screen or something like that to help out.
Schwartz, who just kicked that field goal moments ago, will be the kicker here on the 40-yard line. And a host of Lions back to receive around the 20-yard line.
A pride of Lions.
Pride of Lions, yeah. The kick up and away into the wind, and it's going to fall short around the 25-yard line. Dancing around on the reception is Daniel Carr, and a nice return by Carr down to the 32-yard line. They'll take over here after the field goal by Schwartz. Granger will have it, trying to respond with 2:42 to go on their own 32-yard line, Brad.
Yeah, they're going to have to get some points here pretty quickly as we are late in the 3rd quarter. And we talked about staying in front of the sticks, and I think that's what Granger really has to focus on here this drive. They found themselves in 2nd and long and 3rd and long all day. And if they can find a way to get to 2nd and short, 3rd and short, and really get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, specifically the Gamble brothers, who have both shown to have some speed and some moves, you'd be interested to see what would happen. Looks like a new quarterback back there, Marcus Hayes, taking snaps.
So the 3rd quarterback of the evening now, Hayes in shotgun, trips up to the right. And instead the handoff over to Carr. Carr trying to plow his way down a tough, hard-fought run, and he may have coughed the ball up. The Hayes Rebels signaling they have the ball, waiting on the official call from the officials.
They've gotten it. They had the official down in the scrum down there giving the call, so the ball goes to Hayes.
So Carr fumbles that ball, and Hayes will take over again here with great field position on the 34-yard line of the Granger Lions.
Gonna have to get Mr. Schwartz back up quickly. He's down there. Looks like hanging out with the kiddos. Josh Schwartz, the offensive coordinator, on the bench. He's got to get back up on the sidelines and start calling some plays one more time.
So again, the Hayes Rebels on their 8th possession here of the afternoon take over after the fumble by Carr on the Granger line, 34-yard line. The ball in between the hash marks and Guino, and at quarterback for the Hayes Rebels, and he's still lining up under center here. Same formation we saw a sweep earlier. That one, the handoff back over to Brown. Brown taking him to town, all the way down to the 26-yard line. A nice pickup of 8 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 2.
Hayes has just had, or you said same formation. They've had a lot of success out of this wishbone that they've started running here in this third quarter. Moving the ball outside, moving the ball inside with it. And the wishbone, if you don't know how to defend it, is very, very effective. And it's not something you see much in football anymore, so a lot of guys may never have been taught how to defend it. You know, it's super prevalent in the 70s and the 80s.
They line up in it again here, Brad. This time, the handoff over to Ben Elizares. Elizares breaks free! Elizares for the touchdown! Hayes Rebels! Wow, what a run right there as Elizares broke through the line, and he goes in for 6.
That's exactly what the wishbone can do, though. Set you up outside, and then boom, you hit the up back up the middle while everybody on the defense is flowing one way, expecting it to go outside. And all of a sudden, there's nobody there to get Elizares on the long touchdown run. About, 25, 30 yards there.
Yeah, he was from the 26-yard line, I believe. So a 26-yard run right there by Elizares. And Schwartz will come out here for the extra point attempt after that 26-yard touchdown run by Ben Elizares.
His son, Braden, and Carmine, their 2 sons, I'm sure, going crazy down there for Eli, and the extra point good.
So we'll keep things right here. 1:39 to go in the third quarter. The Hayes Rebels extend their lead now to 17 over the Granger Lions, 17-0. Brad, finally an established game here for the Hayes Rebels. Unfortunately, the Granger Lions not able to really establish their offense yet, but you talked about it. That wishbone formation has really been something now that is really putting the Lions in their cage.
Yeah, it's throwing a curveball at the defense, and Granger kind of getting leaned on a little bit. It's, Hayes is just leaning on him more and more, using the ground game to pound down on him, and you're starting to see some breakdowns, and it's just wishbone football is assignment football. It's very hard if you're not practicing it. It's like whenever you see a team trying to play one of the academies and they play that triple option football. That's essentially what wishbone football is the same way. And if you don't practice it against it every single week, and then you come up against Navy, a team that can play that triple option really well, that's hard to defend. And that's why you see those triple option run teams score so many points and run for 400 yards a week. And that's what I think you're starting to see here is Hayes has been practicing it, and Granger probably had no idea that was coming.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, you're not ready for it. A couple of plays later, boom, you got a couple of scores. That's 10 quick points for Hayes here in this half.
Well, they found something for sure, and they're sticking with it, and it's putting points on the board now. 1:39 to go in the third quarter. Hayes Rebels leading the Granger Lions 17-0. Schwartz kicking off from the 40, action from left to right. Josh has his hand up, waiting, looking. Finally gets the whistle from the official. The kick is up and away. This one a little pooch punt, and it's going to fall around the 40. Hayes has it! Right there, it was Joel Gelamo with the reception, and the Hayes Rebels keep the ball on what you could consider a trick offensive onside kick.
Josh Schwartz placed that ball perfectly. I mean, you see teams try this sometimes. Usually it's not that effective. But he placed that in maybe a 3-square-yard box that it could have fallen in for it to work, and it worked perfectly. Bounced right into the arms of Joel Gelomo. He just keep running straight. He didn't have to veer off at all. And Hayes with a chance that they can put one in the end zone here to maybe put this game away in the third quarter.
Nice job right there by Schwartz on that kick, as you just mentioned, and then Joel Gelomo coming up with the onside kick reception, if you call it that. Hayes here on their 9th possession. Will keep possession on the Granger line, 44-yard line.
Back in the wishbone again. Another good run there by Hayes. 4 or 5 yards a game.
Chewing up some yards as they go here. It'll be 2nd down and about 6 from the 40-yard line.
Tell you what, if you can get a first down run out of these next couple of plays coming down to the bone, and then you line up at the bone and you drop a pass in there, that might be the time to do it. You're starting to see the defense all within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage right now.
And the wishbone again, and Guino back to Elisarders, I believe, and trying to plow his way forward. A tough fought 2 yards. And they were hoping that there was a fumble on the play. Now that's going to be a penalty against Granger. A little frustration right there, I believe, by Scott Cockerell. And
slamming the ball down. I think he thought there was a fumble where he may have stripped it out of the hands, but the whistle had already blown. And now 15 yards on the unsportsmanlike.
It's really going to move Hayes into prime territory again as they started that drive out on their own 44. Penalty's been big here too as well, and Hayes able to capitalize on it.
Well, we told the folks out there, this stuff gets serious and competitive. These guys take this game very seriously. They want to win. They want to do well. And, when you get frustrated out there, it's just like any other game you play. When you got the competitive juices flowing, and unfortunately a bad time there to take a penalty by Granger, and 1st and 10 Hayes with a chance to really put this thing out of reach.
The ball on the near side hash mark on the 23-yard line, and they're still going with that wishbone formation. This time he's going to keep it. Passing, has a man, and he's running down, has the touchdown. A nice bam into the end zone by Bam Ramirez.
Exactly what we just said, though, right? Get a first down if you can. Keep running the ball inside and outside, and then stand up and throw one to the tight end going down the middle. That's exactly what we just talked about, and it worked there, but looks like it might come back off the board from a penalty.
It's coming back here. It looks like there was a holding penalty against Hayes, so Bam unfortunately called back there, and that touchdown is not going to count.
But I'll tell you what, even if it doesn't count, what it will do for Hayes is allow them to keep running that wishbone, because what you were seeing was Granger lining up more and more on defense within 5 yards of the ball. So now Hayes has shown, okay, we can throw it on you out of this formation as well. So because we can throw it on you, you got to back up off that line of scrimmage. It should open up the running lanes a little more again. Very, very well-called game here from the offensive coordinator, Josh Schwartz.
This time, Hayes looking, passing, and that ball falls short there. A little trickeration play. Trace Gandy coming in and playing a little quarterback on that set, and unfortunately throws the ball short. It will be 2nd down and huge for the Hayes Rebels.
Yeah. The 2nd and 20 at least coming up from their own 33-yard line, and one more play to go here in the 3rd quarter.
And that clock at 7 seconds here in the 3rd quarter. The Hayes Rebels lead the Granger line 17-0. Thanks for being a part of Gridiron Glory Alumni Football today, presented by SHN Sports. Rob Hipp alongside Brad Tillery. Hayes finally finding their rhythm here. The ball in between the hash marks, and Guino back into that wishbone position. And this time he's going to hand off over to Trace Gandy, and Gandy using his big frame, getting close back to the original line of scrimmage. He's going to be a yard short of it at the 24-yard line. It's going to bring up a big 3rd down for the Hayes Rebels, and that'll end the 3rd quarter of play. When we come back, the final frame, the Hayes Rebels lead the Granger Lions 17-0. We'll be right back here on SHN Sports. Welcome back to Gridiron Glory Alumni Football presented by SHN Sports. I'm Rob Hipp alongside my good friend Brad Tillery. Rick Epstein, the public address announcer, here today at Kelly Reeves Athletic Complex, where the Hayes Rebels lead the Granger Lions 17-0. Early on, the offenses weren't clicking, and Hayes finally able to find their rhythm, and it's all been working out of that wishbone formation for the Rebels. We'll start things off here in the fourth quarter. 3rd down for the Hayes Rebels. They've got about 11 to go. And we're still in between the quarter change here.
On YouTube.
So far, it's been, again, the Hayes Rebels on offense able to find their rhythm, scoring first. In the second quarter was Paul Brown on a 1-yard touchdown run. That gave Hayes a 6-0 lead. Then it was Josh Schwartz on a 32-yard field goal, followed up after a fumble by Carr for Granger. Hayes got possession at the Granger 34. Then it was a 26-yard touchdown run by Ben Ellis-Saunders, and that's where we sit right now. Again, that score 17-0. Big third down here. Third down and 11 on the near side of hash mark. Hayes' direction changes now at the change of the quarter. They'll be moving from right to left, and we'll see, Brad, if they line back up in that wishbone formation again here on the near side hash mark.
I wouldn't change it. I'll tell you that right now.
And they do. Beg your pardon, it's Anguino passing over the right side, almost intercepted. That pass is going to fall incomplete. The intended receiver, number 81, Mark Hernandez.
Yeah, he had Hernandez open. Just need a little more air under it. And to float it over the defender, it sure looked like it was Antonio Baraka one more time making the big defensive play, knocking that one down.
Things getting a little windier up here. You can probably hear it on the crowd mic there. The American flag starting to whip a little bit, gusting up to 10, 11 miles an hour. Not too windy, but every once in a while we get a nice gust up here. It's going to be 4th down and 11 for the Hayes Rebels. And there's going to be a timeout on the field by the Rebels. We'll keep things right here, Brad.
Yeah, so 4th and 11 for the Rebels coming up, and 17-0 they lead the game here as we just started the fourth quarter. And I'll tell you what, the second half, it's really been the story of the wishbone. You know, you don't see it too often anymore, and looks like Hayes on the practice field put this one into motion and said, hey, we're going to see where we are after one half of play, and then in the second half, unleash it. Kind of like, you know, when Rocky was fighting Apollo Creed, and he fought him standard, conventional, started right-handed, then you got to switch back southpaw towards the end, right? That's what you're seeing right now as the switch back to southpaw comes happening, and it catches everybody off guard. And it's really caught Granger off guard here in the second half. And since they've moved to this wishbone, 10 points on the board in the second half and a 17-0 lead. And now Schwartz, they're going to try and kick this field goal. 41-yard attempt, and if I just heard the PA right, looks like it's going to be an attempt and a record for Gridiron Glory football.
On the near side of hash mark, Schwartz. The barefoot kick is up, and it's just going to fall short. And Granger set back to receive it as Patrick Gamble. Gamble on the far side, and Gamble a nice return down to the 25-yard line. So a 41-yard field goal there. No good, and Gamble returns it. A nice return there.
Thought I might see a replay of something I saw a few years ago at the Auburn-Alabama game where the old kick six, bringing it back. You know, I was actually in the stadium that night and lost my mind. I don't remember much after that. But it was – you line them up back there, and really a smart play by Granger to see if you can break one, because most teams don't practice coverage after a field goal, you know. So a good job, and Gamble with the speed to bring it out and gets it all the way out to the 25. So a nice idea there by Granger to try to pick up some quick points.
So Granger here will take over on their own 25-yard line after a 25-yard return by Patrick Gamble on that missed field goal opportunity.
And if you're Granger here, you got to find points quickly.
Still a change at the quarterback. He's in shotgun. 2 trips actually down to the right, 1 receiver offset. The pass over to the right side into the hands of Gamble. He's stopped immediately, plowed down to the ground by Chase White.
Yeah, really nice play there. Marcus Hayes got the ball out quickly. He had somebody in his face there almost immediately, but a bubble screen like that, you expect a little bit of blocking down the field, and it just wasn't there initially for Granger, and that's what had Gamble with nowhere to run on the play.
It's a 3-yard loss on the pass from Hayes to Patrick Gamble. We saw a lot of success Gamble to Gamble, and it'd be nice to see Trenton out there again as quarterback, but they're trying something new here as Hayes is the 3rd quarterback of the afternoon for the Granger Lions, and now Bird steps back in as quarterback.
It's like both Gambles are actually playing receiver here on the same side at the top of the screen.
I beg your pardon. It still is. Hayes, the quarterback in shotgun. Low snap, trying to fight for it. Now he has to pick it up. Running, still on his feet. Nice effort there by Hayes with a yard all the way up to the 30-yard line. So after a mishandled snap, a low snap to him in shotgun, he's able to recover it and bring it all the way up to the 30-yard line.
A class of 2011 there for Marcus Hayes, and showing he still got the moves as he takes the low snap and makes something out of nothing. And what would have been 3rd and long, like we talked about earlier, the issue that's been all day for Granger is now 3rd and manageable at 3rd and 5.
Ball at that 30-yard line on the near hash mark. Hayes in its shotgun. Empty back set. Low snap, able to get it, looking, scanning. Now he's going to pass. Has a man across the 50-yard line. Still on his feet, spinning around. Nice catch and grab right there. Big pass by Daniel Carr out of the hands of Marcus Hayes. That's going to be a first down for the Granger Lions.
Yeah, really good job by Hayes. It looked like he was going to sprint out right, take the run. As soon as somebody came up after him, floats it over the middle to Daniel Carr. And some dynamism there now for Granger as they move the ball into the territory of the Rebels.
That ball on the 49-yard line on the near side hash mark. Big pass.
First and 10, Granger.
Hayes in its shotgun, has one back offset to his right, 2 receivers to either side. Hayes, high snap, looking, passing over to the left side. Deep pass down and fighting for it. And it's going to fall incomplete. Great defense right there by the Hayes Rebels. Knocking that ball away was Chad Miles.
Yeah, he had the size advantage there, definitely going to Granger. I think that ball was intended for Patrick Gamble, if I'm not mistaken, down the field. But Miles able to get his hand in there at the last second because it sure looked like Gamble may have had the position on the play to make the play.
9:31 to go here in the final quarter of play. The Hayes Rebels lead the Granger Lions 17-0. It's 2nd down and 10 from the 49-yard line of the Hayes Rebels for the Granger Lions. Lines up this time. No one up top to the left. Trips down to the right. Hayes hands off to Carr. Running around. Finds a lane on the inside. Fighting for yardage. Clawing his way up to the 44-yard line. A nice run right there by Daniel Carr, the 2009 alum.
Yeah, very nice run. Kind of bringing the receivers down on the bottom, add the extra tight end at the top of the formation there for the blocker, and go in the opposite way of the receivers, and able to really what it does is move the secondary down to here and kind of gives you a one-on-one opportunity at the top and gain 5-6 yards on the play.
Trenton Gamble for the Granger Lions heads over to the bench. Hayes still in a quarterback. Bird this time. He's kind of the Iron Man out there. He's going to line up as a receiver as part of a triple package up top to the left. Hayes in shotgun. 3rd down. Manageable. Hayes looking over to the left side and to the center. And, boy, it looked like there could have been an offensive pass interference. There is the flag. As Bird gets hammered down to the ground, that's going to be a first down for the Granger Lions.
Yeah, that went against the offensive man, Paul Brown, for Hayes, as he made contact long before the ball had gotten there. Pretty easy call from the sideline.
Yeah, Bird got hit well before that pass even came near him.
Yeah.
Good call there. And as you stated earlier, what a wonderful job by the officiating crew. I mean, they're just right on the money here with this ball game today, and we appreciate them coming out on a Saturday as well to give up some of their family time, and they probably enjoy officiating as much as we enjoy broadcasting.
Oh, they do, and I'm sure. And, they're doing it with 5 guys. Most officiating crews have more than just the 5 out there, so it's not easy to watch all that's going on, but they've done a fantastic job so far.
First down after the penalty, the ball on the 49-yard line. In motion is Patrick Gamble. And Hayes still on their feet. It's Gamble back on the right side, trying to find a lane. Nice blocking. Gamble down to the 45-yard line, and they're actually going to mark him at the 34-yard line. So a nice run right there after the initial hit as he kind of missed direction and ran back over to the near side.
Yeah, they tried the end around on the play, and he went back the other way. Probably ran a total of about 80 yards there, but for a 6-yard pickup. But a 6-yard pickup that looked at the beginning like it was going to be a 2 or 3 yard loss.
It's going to be 2nd down and 5 now for the Granger Lions. The ball on the near side hash mark. 8:28 to go in the ball game. The clock running. So Granger trying to get on the board. Patrick Gamble going to come out of the huddle. He'll be the receiver up top to the left. Down to the right are 2 receivers. And Hayes has a back offset to his left. Steps back, looking, throws center part of the field, and incomplete pass there. The intended receiver,
Antonio Baraka.
It was to Baraka. So incomplete pass, going to bring up a 3rd and manageable again. 3rd down and 5. These are the huge 3rd downs that they've got to convert.
Yeah, you want any chance of coming back, 8:03 to go. You got to score pretty quickly here, too. Down 17, 17-0. But I think more than anything for Granger, it might not even be a thought of coming all the way back as making sure you don't get shut out here this afternoon.
Keep in mind, they started this 9th drive of the afternoon on their own 25-yard line. And
yeah, by far and away the best drive of the game so far for Granger. Not the deepest they've been in territory, but remember, that was because of a punt return, not because of a sustained offensive drive.
this time Hayes lines up in shotgun, 2 receivers down to the right, 1 back to either side. Looking back, trying to find an open receiver. Pressure from Hayes, a nice little scoop pass, and they're gonna call it complete to Patrick Gamble, but he was hit immediately at the 36-yard line, so actually a loss of 2 on that play, possibly.
Yeah, there's nothing really Gamble could do. Marcus Hayes was being chased around the backfield there and just tried to flip one to an eligible receiver to make sure he didn't take the sack. And Gamble, natural reaction to catch the ball there, but it keeps it alive at least at 4th and 7. You don't take the huge loss and gives the Granger Lions one more shot here.
The ball is on the near side hash mark here. 4th down and long for the Granger Lions. Hayes comes out of the break in shotgun. 2 receivers up top to the right. It's Bird alongside Trenton Gamble. 2 receivers down to the right as well. Hayes in shotgun, look for the pass here. Snap directly to him, looking center part of the field, and his man slips again. This field has not been friendly as Daniel Carr was open, and he slipped at the last moment. The ball falls incomplete, Brad, and a turnover on downs.
Yeah, 2nd time today, Granger's had a man wide open, and he unfortunately has fallen down due to just a trip on the field. And you know, I can tell you it's not loose turf or anything because they're playing on the field turf. But just unfortunate for Granger because that would have probably been a 1st down.
And Hayes is going to take over here on their own 36-yard line.
A post-game talk from Gridiron Glory Alumni football owner, George Cox.
7:13 to go. The Hayes Rebels leading 17-0. Turnover on downs by the Lions after an impressive drive. They fall short again, and the Hayes Rebels take over on downs.
Yeah, you probably think Hayes is going to come back out, just continue to run the ball, continue to do what they've been doing here the entire 2nd half, and they do line back up in that wishbone. Maybe just try to grind the rest of this game out.
I believe it may be a new quarterback in there as well. It is. The quarterback's going to keep it here on the right side. Running around on the far side, has room to run. It's Trace Gandy, still on his feet, dancing, prancing around, and there was a fumble on the play, and it appears that the Granger Lions recovered. They do. A nice recovery there by Anthony Benjamin, the 2007 graduate.
Yeah, really nice play there by Benton to get the ball, but that was the other thing that that you haven't seen so far out of Hayes in that wishbone is the option play, and it was Trace Gandy playing quarterback coming out with the option, and Gandy looks like he's a little slow to get up.
7:02 to go. Granger takes right back over on their own 45-yard line.
So Granger with a chance to get some points on the board here with 7:02 to go, and they had a really nice drive. This last drive that just fell out with Marcus Hayes in at quarterback, and he's going to stay back there behind the center. You'd like to see them continue doing what they're doing. I really like the play where he rolled him out and then threw the ball, kind of forcing the hand of the defense of Hayes. You'd like to maybe get him on the move a little more.
Hayes lines up, 2 receivers down to the right, 1 up top to the left, has a back offset to his left. It's Bird, Hayes, and he's going to be clobbered down for a big loss on the play. A host of Rebels come in there and fight their way through the line, and the initial hit by Brian Brown for the Hayes Rebels. Great defense there.
Fred Lyons in there as well, and really nice play by both of them on the defensive side. Brian Brown, a captain on the team and also a member of the Travis County Search and Rescue here locally.
We appreciate his service outside of football and wonderful asset to the community in this area. That was a 6-yard loss on the play down to the 39-yard line. It's going to be 2nd down and 16. They've got to get to the 45-yard line of the Hayes Rebels for the 1st down. Approaching 6 minutes to go here in the ball game. Hayes leading 17-0. Hayes lines up in shotgun, 2 receivers to either side. Bird offset to him. In motion is Gamble. Gamble going to fake the handoff. Now over to Bird, and Hayes wasn't fazed by it, and immediately Bird is stopped for another loss on the play as Jerome Cisneros was in on the tackle.
Looked like Granger was trying to draw in the defensive line and then maybe run a draw play on him from the snapback, but the Hayes Rebels actually just got back there a little too quick for Granger to execute the play the way they wanted to, and therefore blew it up in the backfield.
Another loss on the play. The ball at the 44-yard line. Or
19.
36-yard line, actually. A timeout by the Granger Lions. We'll keep things right here. 5.5 minutes to go in this ball game. Brad, we've really seen that wishbone formation work well for the Hayes Rebels. That's allowed them to put those 17 points on the board. Well, the latter part of those points, the first touchdown wasn't part of the wishbone, but the later points they were able to score off, and the Lions scoreless here trying to put some points on the board.
Not just the wishbone, though, working for Hayes. It's really been the run game all day. It's not just the wishbone. They started out, came out throwing the ball a little bit, and as soon as the Rebels decided to just keep the ball on the ground, pound it with 2 or 3 running backs down there, that's when they saw success. They got the first touchdown of the day, more out of a traditional set, and then moving to the wishbone here in the second half, it's been nearly unstoppable. As about the only way it's been stopped was the fumble here in the last play, but even then, you had Trace Gandy running down the field alone, about 5-10 yards down the field, so it was picking up more and more yardage, and for Granger, just a struggle to move the ball consistently today. One real sustained drive that petered out at about the 20-yard line, but other than that, it's exactly what you're seeing right now in these third and long situations, and when you get like that, and you get in these situations, it just makes it that much harder to keep the defense guessing because everybody can drop back and play pass.
Another big third down here for the Granger Lions on the 36-yard line. Hayes in shotgun, 2 receivers to either side. Steps back, looking pass, deep pass down, and that one's going to bounce off the fingertips of a Hayes Rebel. It'll fall incomplete, and another big 4th down here for the Lions.
Receiver was open down there, just couldn't quite get it down to the sideline. Looked like Daniel Carr was racing down the sidelines, and before it could get there, ball was knocked down by Chad Miles, who's been everywhere on both sides of the ball.
Just a few seconds off the clock, 5:25 to go in the 4th quarter. Thanks for joining us here on Gridiron Glory Alumni Football presented by SHN Sports. I'm Rob Hipp, along with my good friend Brad Tillery. As the Granger Lions trying to keep a drive alive here and put some points on the board, but they got a ways to go. 4th down and long on the 36-yard line, on their own 36-yard line. Man in motion is Gamble. Hayes in it, shotgun, quarterback. Trying to do a hard count here. Looked like it could have been an offsides penalty. A double pass here, down, and Gamble not able to come up with it. There is a flag on the play, and that may have been offsides on the Rebels.
They're going to call an illegal forward pass because the first pass actually was forward on the double pass.
Okay.
So the first one from the quarterback out to the left side actually was about a yard forward, and therefore the second pass illegal down the field.
They do call it a legal forward pass there, and that'll set them back even more. And
they're just going to deny the penalty.
They should deny it.
Yeah, I think they're just going to not take the penalty and instead take the turnover on downs.
Will be Hayes football here on the Granger line, 36-yard line with 5:19 to go, Brad.
Yeah, and Hayes probably going to come back out in that option, you would think. We saw Trace Gandy out there last time taking the snaps, although Gandy's staying on the sidelines. He came up a bit woozy after that fumble, so he was helped back to the sidelines. Hopefully he's doing all right down there. And Hayes looks like the offensive coordinator and the kicker. The man coming out there to play is Josh Schwartz, calling the play in the backfield. And is Josh going to play quarterback here possibly?
Remember that last possession moments ago by the Hayes Rebels was a fumble by Gandy. That gave the ball back to Granger here, so we'll see what they do.
They are going to stay in the wishbone, but it is Schwartz, the offensive coordinator and kicker, back there at quarterback.
Schwartz the handoff over to the left side into the hands of Ben Elisares, and Elisares plowing his way down, a massive run down to the 29-yard line.
I want to know what the huddle was like when they decided on the practice field. I'm sure Mr. Schwartz came up to everybody and said, all right, guys, we're going to play wishbone football. And everybody kind of goes, huh? What are you talking about? Who plays wishbone football anymore? But it's proven effective here today.
Clock below 5 minutes and ticking, 4:53 to go in this ball game. The Hayes Rebels driving again on the Granger line, 29-yard line. Schwartz going to remain in at quarterback. They're going to remain in that wishbone formation. Of course, lining up behind him is Elisares, and also 2 backs behind Elisares. Schwartz has it. This time he's going to pass over to the right side. Caught around the 15-yard line. A nice pass out of the hands of Schwartz into his intended receiver.
It's number 81 down there.
That was Mark Hernandez, the 2007 graduate.
Yeah, really nice drop of dropping one in a bucket. 15, 20 yards down the field. Schwartz coming out and after sitting on the sidelines and calling the plays most of the day, getting some action in, and tell you what, he's coming out pretty well here these first couple of plays.
You know, that first half of play, we had Paul Brown down as the MVP, but, man, there's been so many people touching the ball now, it's going to be hard.
I'll be honest, if I've got to pick an MVP, it's the man taking the snaps right now just because of what he did on the sidelines.
Absolutely.
Changing up the offense in the back half of the game.
Josh Schwartz, the fake pitch out, now the reverse handoff over to Elisares, and Elisares bouncing his way down to the 10-yard line. You know, it's a good call there.
You know,
It's Schwartz, and you know, if he is and ended up being the MVP, he may kind of be flabbergasted by that. I mean, that's a really good call, calling him for MVP.
Yeah, he's your offensive coordinator. I can almost guarantee you he made the call to go to the wishbone in the second half. That's really been effective. He made a field goal, a couple of extra points, and down here dropping dimes now late in the game. But that's exactly who my vote would go to right now. You've had some great individual players out there all day, but I think for the biggest effect of the game, he's your guy.
Wishbone again here, Schwartz. The handoff over to the right side. Spinning his way down, hard hitting is Paul Brown, and Brown taking him downtown to the 6-yard line. Almost enough for the first down. That first down marker is at the 5, Brad.
Yeah, Brown's got some quickness. I really like the way that the center there fired off the ball. It was James Earp down there playing center. Been down there all day. Earp actually played college ball here locally at Tarleton State.
Awesome. 3rd down and 1. The ball on the far side hash mark. Schwartz still under center, still in the wishbone formation as they have been most of this second half. And now a little flinch there, and that should be against Hayes.
Yeah, the whole backfield moved ahead of time.
And that's going to move them back 5. It's going to be, instead of 3rd down and 1, it'll be 3rd down and 6.
Talk about some more of those big offensive linemen who've been opening up holes. You mentioned the man Earp playing at Tarleton State. The right tackle, Lex Ortiz, he played ball at the 4-time defending 1AA champion North Dakota State team up there in Bismarck, North Dakota, or excuse me, Fargo, North Dakota. Or is this North Dakota State or South Dakota State? South Dakota State's the one that's been winning, right? I forget.
South Dakota State, that's
Fargo's in North Dakota. I forget. I'm not great at geography.
South Dakota State's in Brookings.
Yeah, so it's North Dakota State
Yeah,
that's
it's North
won
Dakota.
that's won the last 4 titles. Well, he's I'm sure a proud alumnus playing down there.
3rd down and 6, the ball on the 11-yard line. Josh Schwartz under center, still in that wishbone. Pitch back, and now it's going to be a double pass, and this one is going to be intercepted by Daniel Carr.
Yeah, they had tried the trick play. Paul Brown throwing off balance as he was going backwards there on the halfback pass. A little fun there for Hayes towards the end of the game with 2:06 to go and a 17-0 lead. And now up to the defense for the Rebels to try and preserve this shutout as Granger takes the ball over deep inside their own territory.
Just over 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 6 seconds to go. The 11th possession of the afternoon for the Granger Lions. The past 2 possessions for the Hayes Rebels resulted in turnovers. So we'll see what Granger can do. Their last 2 possessions have been turnover on downs. They're going to start here. The ball is going to be placed at the 9-yard line, so that's where they'll start on their own 9. So they've got 91 yards to go to try to put something on that scoreboard. Remember, again, we've got the state tournament coming up at 7 p.m. You can catch that one as well on SHN Sports. Hayes in a shotgun. Going to roll out to his right. Scanning the field, and it's going to be a pass that's caught. And going out of bounds is Antonio Baraka, and I believe that was Patrick Gamble actually in at quarterback now. So they've shifted things up again.
It's the 4th quarterback now for Granger, and that was Patrick Gamble back there with the ball.
So a nice first down to Baraka, down to the 24-yard line. Clock running, 1:40 to go. Hayes leading 17-0, but Granger trying to put some points on the board. Patrick Gamble in at shotgun. Claps for it, looking over to the left side. Now hesitates, Still bouncing around, using his quick feet across the 40-yard line. Gamble now across the 50. He's going to go all the way. 20, 10, touchdown, Gamble. What a run right there by Patrick Gamble on the keeper.
They're not going to take that one from him. Earlier in the ball game, he had the double pass thrown to him that was taken back. This time he keeps it the whole way on a quarterback scramble, about a 70-some-odd yard run there by Patrick Gamble. Heck of a play. The breakaway speed, and no shutout today as Granger finally gets on the board with about 1:17 to go here in the ball game.
A 72-yard touchdown keeper by Patrick Gamble. What a run right there by Gamble. And Granger finally, Brad, putting some points on the board.
Yeah, pull-away speed there by Gamble at the end. About the 30-yard line or so. It looked like he might have gotten a chance of getting tackled from behind and just pulled away.
Brad, we talked about it all game. The Gamble brothers have been outstanding, and you got to wonder if they would have been able to go to them earlier in the game. The score may be a little bit different here.
Yeah, a couple of big plays right there, and you're right. Get the ball in the hands of your dynamic players.
And now Bird lines up under center as quarterback, and he's going to roll around, looking on the right side for the two-point conversion, and it's good for the two-point conversion. A nice catch right there on the right corner.
I believe that actually might be Trenton Gamble. It's either him or Leonard Hinojosa. I can't catch the number.
It's just at the wrong angle.
Yeah, I can see a 1.
We know it's somebody with a 1 starting.
Actually, it is. It looks like Leonard Hinojosa with the catch. 17-8 your score now with a minute and 12 to go. I'll show you the scoreboard there, give you an idea what's going on. And, well, if you're Granger, you still need 2 scores. At a 9-point game, a touchdown 2-point conversion doesn't do you any good if you get the extra, or if you get the onside kick. So you got to get 2 scores, and you got to get them quickly. But a little life for Granger, and they won't be shut out here this afternoon in this third-place game. You mentioned the finals tonight. Should be a good one. Georgetown, your hometown, coming into play.
And then Hardin Jefferson down in southeast Texas. JoJo Valika leading his guys, and Georgetown is led by their quarterback, Matt Murillo. So it's going to be a good one. Matt, his mother, unfortunately, had passed away that last alumni game that morning, and he went out there and played with a lot of heart, and it was a great win for the Georgetown Eagles. And I can't be biased on that broadcast, though, even though Georgetown's my home team. We're here to broadcast for Gridiron Glory, not just for the Eagles. So we're going to call it fair. 1:12 to go. Look for the onside kick here by the Granger Lions. If you'll recall, earlier in the game, the Hayes Rebels kind of with a surprise onside kick, able to recover it. We'll see if Granger can hold serve and do the same thing here. Of course, they're going to kick from the 40-yard line here. 1:12 to go. Hayes leading 17-8. Which way will it go? That's the mystery. The onside kick over to the left side. That one's going to be deep, and it's going to be Hayes with the reception around the 35-yard line. Now crossing over the 50, lowering his head. A nice return there. And
fumble.
There was a fumble. Granger acting like they have the ball. We're waiting to see the official call from the officials. Heard somebody say dead ball. And Granger still clapping for it. They won it.
They came up with it.
And they do. The officials will give possession over to Granger. So even though the initial onside kick didn't work, the fumble did. And Granger's going to take over here with 1:04 to go. They've got a chance to go down and get this game to within 1 if they can score and convert the 2-point conversion. The ball is in Hayes Rebel territory on the 48-yard line.
Yeah, you need another big play quickly, though, and you think that Patrick Gamble's going to stay in at quarterback. He's the man that just broke the long run from the quarterback position a minute ago. If he can get a little pass going, you know that somebody on Hayes is going to have to spy him, so you should open up the defense a little bit as they get ready to break the huddle here to Granger inside of Hayes territory with the 1:04 to go, down 9.
So they'll take over on the Hayes 48-yard line on the near side hash mark. And I believe Hayes is in at quarterback.
It's Gamble down there at quarterback.
That is Gamble. Empty backfield, trips up to the left, one receiver down to the right. And Gamble's going to pass here. Has a man center field. It bounces incomplete, no good. A nice pass by Gamble, the intended receiver, not able to pull the ball down.
Yeah, Gamble was being chased up the middle there, and he had to throw it off balance on the run, and that's what kind of led to the little bit of an overthrow because he had a man open, and really not a bad play. It was athletic for Gamble to even get that ball down the field as far as he did. Not easy to throw it like that when you're on a run and jumping.
Ball in between the hash marks here. Of course, empty backfield. Triplets up top to the left, one receiver down to the right. The ball at the 48-yard line. Gamble stepping back, scanning the field, passes over to the right side, short. That one's going to go out of bounds, incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd down and 10. And 52 seconds to go here. Granger trying to put more points on the board. They're down. Hayes Rebels leading 17-8. Been an exciting second half here. Things really slow in that first half.
Yeah.
And the second half has been pretty exciting.
Yeah, both teams been able to get a little more offensive rhythm going. Even though only 8 points on the board for the Lions, they've had a couple of really nice drives this half. A few turnovers by both sides. And then we've talked about it from the Hayes side, but Hayes on offense been able to get the ball moving with that wishbone offense.
3rd down and 10. Granger trying to keep their drive alive. Gamble, same formation, shotgun, triplets up top to the left, one receiver down to the right. Now they're going to look for a little trickeration here. The fumble, and Granger able to fall back down on it after a big loss, however, down to the 45-yard line. That's going to bring up 4th down and long here. A little last gasp of air for Granger, but they're not even calling timeout. They're just letting the clock run.
Yeah, 36 seconds to go, and probably going to be the last play or so of the game here. Maybe one more offensive play from Granger, and if it doesn't convert or doesn't end up in the end zone, you might see Hayes take a knee, and that'll be about it here with Granger down 8.
Granger trying to get another playoff here. 20 seconds to go. Gamble in its shotgun. Trips to the left, 2 down to the right. Gamble scanning, running over to the right side. And now still trying to dodge some Hayes defenders, and he's finally drugged down by Joel Jalamo, and there's going to be 6 seconds on the clock as Hayes will take back over here on downs.
So Hayes will get a victory here and end up with the 3rd place spot in the tournament of this Gridiron Glory tournament, with the championship game coming tonight. And a nice win by Hayes as they get ready to take this knee. 17-6 or 17-8 your final, or is going to be your final score you would expect, unless they decide to hand one off and break one. Good game though. Granger in the second half really, after falling behind 17-0, continued to fight, had a couple of opportunities, and could only punch it into the end zone one time from there. But Hayes will come away with a victory today.
Once we have that MVP announcement, we'll try to get down there and get a live interview with him. That's still yet to be determined.
One last snap.
Hayes should take a knee here, Brad. And actually take a little run and play, and he's going to be brought down. That was the first time we've seen Jonathan Arriaga down there on the field. And that will be the final. The Hayes Rebels win. They end up in 3rd place in this little tournament. They win the ball game 17-8 over the Granger Lions. And as stated, we should have an interview on the field moments away with the MVP, Brad. A great game, and after we get that interview also, we will have a little quick post-game wrap-up. So I'm going to make my way down there, let you kind of take the helms here, and we'll see you back up in a little bit. And when I get down there, I'll just give you the thumbs up, so kind of keep an eye on me and then zoom in, and we'll take care of it, man.
Sounds good. Well, 17-8 your final score. The Hayes Rebels beat the Granger Lions alumni team here today. Good game all around. 7-0 was the score after 1 half of play. And it wasn't until the second quarter that the offenses really got moving. Hayes and Granger in the first quarter, a couple of turnovers by both teams, a little disjointed. Both teams kind of stalemating right around that 20-yard box between the 40s. And then it was in the second quarter that you saw Hayes start going to the ground and pounding the ground. And you had a few big plays by Paul Brown, three plays specifically, back to back, where he broke a 7-yard run, then broke a 41-yard run, then broke another 8-yard run, and moved Hayes down quickly into deep into Lion territory, and Brown able to cap off the drive later on with a 1-yard touchdown run. You thought Granger may have a chance to score some points in that first half whenever you had the big return in that first half by Granger by Patrick Gamble. It was a punt that we figured that the Granger Lions would be able to get the ball, around the 40, 50-yard line. Punt traveled a pretty decent ways, bounced around, bounced at the 10, looked like Gamble was just going to let it go, and then lured some folks in. Gamble all of a sudden picked it up and took off, and he took off for 80 yards on the return, all the way down to the 20-yard line of the Hayes Rebels, but it was Granger unfortunately unable to punch it in from there, and it was 7-0 your score after one half of play. And then when we got to the second half, it was in the third quarter that the Rebels really started to break away, and it was all due to the move to the wishbone offense. When you saw that wishbone come out to play, a little outside, a little inside, a touchdown, it was first a field goal by Josh Schwartz to push it out to 10-0. I believe it was about a 32-yard field goal, if I'm not mistaken. And then later on, the Hayes Rebels with a touchdown run later on. But first, the MVP announcement coming by. It is Josh Schwartz with the MVP. And I called it. I'm happy to say I called it. Josh Schwartz with the MVP spot here today. The kicker / offensive coordinator for the Hayes Rebels. And I truly believe it was Josh moving the Rebels offense into that wishbone situation in the second half that really changed the game, because as soon as Hayes went to the wishbone, they seemed unstoppable on offense. We mentioned a touchdown run later on in the game. It was about I believe a 26-yard touchdown run. If I'm not mistaken, it was by Ben Elisares. And that really put the game away. 17-0 your score. It was, with about a minute and a half to go, the Lions finally getting on the board. Patrick Gamble playing quarterback. He was the fourth quarterback of the day for the Granger Lions, and he broke about a 72-yard touchdown run, and that made it 17-8. And that's your final score here from the Kelly Reeves Athletic Complex in Round Rock, Texas. Got a game tonight later on, the championship game of this little tournament, the Gridiron Glory Tournament. And if you're out there watching the game, you say, how do we get involved? We'll go to gridironglory.com and reach out to Mr. Cox. He'll take care of you, get your team up, and we are almost set to go with Mr. Rob Hipp down there. He's going to get Josh Schwartz on the air for us, as I see Rob down in his jacket. We'll get it zoomed in and see if we can have a conversation with him and the MVP, Josh Schwartz, as they're going to go to a quiet spot. But we're glad to have you along here this afternoon, as it has been a fun ball game to call. Fun times, as always, with Gridiron Glory on a beautiful, beautiful Saturday afternoon, about 72, 73 degrees, slight breeze, and just a perfect day for football here this afternoon, and the kind of weather that you wish you had all year long. It's that Southern California kind of weather down here today. Rob just waiting on Josh to join him. Looks like Josh having a conversation with Brian Brown down there. Josh still with only one shoe on, as he is not only the offensive coordinator but the barefoot kicker as well. And there you see he and Rob.
With Josh Schwartz. Can you hear me up here?
We're
okay,
good. Go
perfect.
ahead.
We got the signal. Josh Schwartz, the MVP, man. What a game you guys played. I know, coming out here with a lot of heart. Tragic loss there in Hayes with Coach Null, but, man, we had a little moment of silence honoring him. What a game today, man. What are your thoughts on this one?
Well, I'll tell you what, Granger definitely came to play today. They showed up with 17 guys, and, you hear that and you start to think, oh, man, we're going to take them. We're just going to run them into the ground. And those guys kept hitting us in the mouth over and over. I'm really proud of our offensive line. I'm proud of our defense, who almost had that shutout today. And just the fact that both teams battled until that final whistle today.
Absolutely. Well, man, you guys finished up third here in the little tournament. What a great job it is to be out here on the gridiron. What's it like coming out here playing ball, man?
It's fun for me because I'm 40 years old. I've got these kids that are just out of high school, and so I keep telling them, if I was your age, I'd be able to make that 41-yarder. But for us older guys that go out there and you put everything on the line, it gives us that one last chance to say, hey, we got one more game in us. Good game out there, Matt.
Well, hey, you guys changed over in that second half into the wishbone. That was a really deciding factor. Early on we were kind of deciding who was going to be the MVP. Patrick Brown had a nice run there to get you guys on the board first. But it was really that mindset of you guys changed over that wishbone offense, and Granger didn't really have an answer to it. Great play calling out there on the side. You guys just what was the idea behind that? Kind of what switched y'all into that wishbone mode?
Well, it's because Granger was really getting after us, and we thought with them having fewer players than us that we could really go out there and put them to the test. Let's see if they can have that attrition and hold with us guys. My lineman also came to me and said, hey, Josh, we can push them. And so we went ahead and went under center and let our guys hit them in the mouth, and hopefully we could get those 3 or 4 yards. I will say that our running backs just really went out there and made some really good cuts and played their tails off.
Well, a couple of final questions here. You're kind of like Iron Man, man, out there, and we call you the barefoot one. What's the story behind the barefoot, man? This is a trademark of Josh Schwartz. What's the story behind this barefoot, man?
All right, so very early on in my high school days, I was quarterback, and I played right behind a great quarterback named Ryan Shelton, who went on to play a little college ball. So I was sitting there my freshman year, and I'm like, man, he's my age. I'm never going to get on the field, so I've got to find a way to get on that field. And I'm an offensive guy. I want to score. So it was time to go kick that ball. And I always found that when I kicked with the shoe on, I would drag my toe. I took my shoe off, and all of a sudden, I was able to hit the bottom of that ball and was able, boy, at one time I think I was top 5 or 6 at Hayes High School in scoring. I also had a great running back named Stephen Hardaway, who scored a lot of points. All I had to do was kick 1-pointers. I didn't have to kick a lot of 3-pointers. And so ever since then, I've been a barefooted kicker. I will tell you, I'm the only one that was happy that it was 85 degrees today.
I was just about to ask you, that Dripping Springs game, how did you keep your foot from not freezing off, man?
You ask these linebackers, you get one good hit and you forget all about the weather. You kick one ball and hit it good, you forget all about the weather. But I tell you what, when you miss and it's cold, boy, that stings.
Oh, man. Well, hey, Josh, final question here. Anybody out there you'd like to give a shout-out to, send some love to somebody? And the camera's right up there, too, if you'd like to look up at them.
My wife, Autumn, is the love of my life. She is, man, my heart and soul. We've got a 15-month-old baby, Ty. My father-in-law's in town from Michigan, and he's watching at home with Ty's great-grandma. And I tell you what, I'm excited about that Georgetown HJ game. We came out today and we thought, hey, if we can put it on Granger, we could show HJ that we deserve to be there. I tell you what, Granger came and played a really good game. So I have no clue who's going to win that game. I will tell you, Georgetown's the best team we've ever played.
Georgetown's my alma mater, but I can't be biased, so we're here for Gridiron. But, man, hey, God bless you, brother.
It's going to be a great game out there.
Yes, sir. Well, congratulations to you guys and the Hayes Rebels. Heck of a game today, and we appreciate all your time, brother. Thank you.
Y'all have a good one.
Brad, back up to you.
Well, thanks a lot, Rob. Good job talk with the MVP today, Mr. Josh Schwartz, as he of the Hayes Rebels leads his team and the offense to a 17-8 victory. The defense playing very well down there for the Rebels today as they win over the Granger Lions. Now, as you heard, there's a championship game later on tonight. Rob Hibb's own Georgetown Rebels playing against HJ Hewitt-Jackson. Later on this evening here at the Kelly Reeves Athletic Complex. 7 o'clock kickoff. If you're in the area, come on down and see them. It should be a fun one to check out. You just heard Mr. Schwartz down there saying that Georgetown's the best alumni team they have played, so should be some good football. And as George Cox, the man behind this whole Gridiron football family said, they're going to have the Legends Football League ladies down here. The new team here in town, the Austin Acoustic. They'll be playing at the Cedar Park Center. They're going to be, I believe, here for the halftime portion of the game, maybe putting on a practice. The Legends Football League, been around for a while. They play all over the nation. And go online, check that out, and see when they're playing at the Cedar Park Center. I know they got 2 or 3 home games this year over there, so should be cool to check out Cedar Park Center. A beautiful facility if you've never been over there. Here in the Austin area, they're, as we said earlier, the home of the Texas Stars, which are the top-level affiliate of the Dallas Stars, the hockey team. And then also the Austin Spurs, which is the NBDL, the National Basketball Developmental League team for the San Antonio Spurs. So guys that you'll see up in either Dallas or San Antonio, either on the ice or on the hardwood, they will oftentimes show up here first in Cedar Parks at this beautiful facility just down the street. But speaking of beautiful facilities, we got one here at the Kelly Reeves Athletic Complex. Thanks to everyone allowing us in Gridiron Glory to use the complex today as for these games and tonight as well. Mr. Dwayne Wyrick is the athletic director here for the Round Rock ISD, and if you've never met Dwayne, just a super guy to know. And we will bring back in Rob Hipp, who made record time from down on the field back up here to the box.
We can run around the locker room, man. What a humble man Josh Schwartz is, that entire Hayes team, and credit to the Granger Lions. They played a great game today. They finally got on the board there after that big run, and I'm not sure if you went over that scoring summary yet.
We did.
But, you did?
Yeah,
okay.
Gone over everything.
Well, perfect, man. Well, again, a great game up there, or here today at Kelly Reeves Athletic Complex. Brad, I appreciate you being here, man.
Rob, it's a good time.
Phenomenal job, man. You bring a lot of value to what we do, and glad to have you as part of the SHN family. And a lot of wonderful folks throughout the area, not just on SHN, but throughout the entire organization of high school athletics. And what a great way to keep the memory alive.
Yeah.
So.
Should be a lot of fun tonight as well. You got a big one later on tonight to call, so have a good one that one. I know Mr. Matt Leishman's going to be up here with you. I'll be probably at home hanging out with my wife. I've been on the road for like 4 out of 5 weeks, so finally a chance to spend some time with my lovely wife, who probably forgot what I look like.
Well, again, Brad, thank you, brother. We appreciate you. On behalf of everyone at SHN Sports, a special thanks once again. I know you said it earlier, but to Dwayne Wyrick, the athletic director here at Round Rock ISD, and the fine folks, Ronnie also, facilities over here at Kelly Reeves Athletic Complex. Your final, Hayes Rebels defeat the Granger Lions 17-8. We'll see you again at 7 p.m. for the state tournament, Georgetown versus Hardin Jefferson. Thanks for watching, and have a pleasant evening.
This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by the Shoning Hip Network. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, use of sound bites and interviews, and use of any other content, including audio or video, without the direct written consent and permission by the Shoning Hip Network is strictly prohibited and protected by federal and copyright laws. All rights are reserved by the Shoning Hip Network and SHNSports.com.